Game 3 of Women's World Championship final in Khanty-Mansiysk was incredibly tense. Playing white, Zhu Weindun had an advantage throughout the game, and there were moments when it seemed Lagno was really on the verge of losing. It was a sharp battle in the Benoni defense. White sacrificed the pawn and got excellent compensation for it. It seemed that Zhu Weindun was better prepared, because she played considerably quicker than her opponent. On move 16, Lagno opted for a very sharp pawn push, creating serious complications. In a mutual time trouble, mistakes were made by both sides. The game converted to an ending, where it still seemed that white had a big advantage. Lagno showed perfect defense and managed to hold it. The match score is 2-1 in Katerina Lagno's favor. Defending world champion needs to win in the fourth game with black to get the match to tiebreak. Make sure you don't miss the ultimate action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Khanty-Mansiysk. Today is a final classical game of the women's final for the World Chess Championship here. And together with Alexandra Kosteniuk, we are here to comment this game for you. As you may remember, the current situation is that Ekaterina Lagno, she has a white pieces today. She is leading in the match with a score 2-1, and it means that today draw is enough for her to become a new world champion. So the task for the Chinese player is quite a tough one. She only needs a win, and of course since she was mostly mostly showing quite let's say quite a stable and quite not really aggressive play here during the whole tournament. Of course, it's a big and interesting question if she will be able to come and to put some fight, to find this effort. And for Ekaterina, of course, the task seems to be more or less easy, but of course it's relatively easy, I would say. Still, I mean, it's a whole chess game, and of course draw odds it's a huge favor, but okay.
We'll see what will happen. Yes, let's hope that today is gonna be the last day of this championship. Yeah. And well, we see Jerusalem. I was almost sure that Katerina was going to play e4, because this move is more like forced in some way, because after d4 more positional lines appear on the board, and therefore black may hope for a longer game, while after the first e4 there are more forced lines where white can force black to make a draw, right?
Yeah, in some sense it's easy to control, yeah, with e4, since many lines are quite forced. So and okay, anyway, e4 is one of her main moves. So
even though I was surprised to see the bishop b5 move here, because I wonder where would Zhu Weindun go after d4. As we see in the Caruana-Carlsen match, there are not so many lines to go with a hope for a fight. Because I don't believe in Sveshnikov, it's very hard to break through. Rouser, yeah, probably Rouser, but in that case, yeah, there are also...
Sveshnikov is very hard to play.
Yes, and Morozevich also, I mean, accelerated dragons also hard to believe, so if it's Rouser, there are also quite a few lines for, quite solid lines for black that, for white that you can play to be secure. But anyway...
Against Rouser, it's not that easy to find some dead position right away, so
yes,
it's still certain fight, yeah.
So bishop b5 g6 is also quite a possibility. There are several ways for white, right, to play. Well, since she castled, she is not going to take, I think, on c6.
No,
yeah,
no,
she will play she can still, yeah,
still she can take,
but most likely she's gonna opt for rook e1 she played. I thought maybe she...
And what, e5, b4?
Yeah, rook e1 is a main...
And after e5 you're gonna play b4 or not?
After e5 before? Yeah. Well, I doubt still. We'll see how.
It's a brilliant way to make a draw, yeah? Just, you know.
Yeah, e5. Yeah.
No, but e5 is not just because Carlsen played it, but it was all time considered to be
The best move. The best continuation.
more or less one of the main lines. Even when I was playing this line in 90s, still it was rook e1, e5. So
Okay.
White can play, of course, some c3, d4 lines, but this I don't know if she's ready. Because normally speaking, Black is just playing knight g7 castles. They get the position basically she wants. So.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying that bishop b5 is well, for me it's quite an interesting choice in this particular situation, because if you take on c6, there are many sharp lines with bishop takes c6. But as we saw in the first game, right, of the match, Carlsen Caruana, d takes c6 is also a possibility, and Carlsen managed to get a winning position with black.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you play rook e1, hoping.
Just want to remind you that you have to use our hashtag AskWWCCA 2018, and of course you are all welcome to ask your questions. We're here to discuss any possible topics, as you already know, and
yeah, we've touched quite a bit things during this
quite a bit
final.
of sensitive topics about the chess scene. Okay, but and hopefully maybe our live transmissions would help the organizers of the chess players to see this from the different point of view, from the different angle. So. Okay, now we can say that the current position at the board is
The following, yes.
following one: e4, c5. Of course, no more Petrov, no more French defenses here. Black needs only to win. So knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. Very trendy, very solid. And of course, we were wondering that after d4, what c-Eastern Black would play, yeah?
Yeah, most likely it was
Because
going to be
hardly, so
Rouser.
g6 allows c4, and
which is
after c4 bid it's very hard for Black to get some real activity. So, okay, either some moves like queen v6 maybe also.
well, yeah, it still will transpose to some Rouser.
Yeah, but also it's yeah, so out of this, or maybe knight f6, knight c3, d6 we could expect, and then. Normally speaking, White normally plays bishop g5, but then after bishop g5, Black could prepare some, some line just maybe to get worse, but playable position. Anyway, happened bishop b5, g6. Here nowadays, maybe the most common choice is immediately to take on c6, because it allows White more options, and especially if b takes c6, apart from castle, White has also d4 move, and. In the actual game happened this, and rook e1. Basically, rook e1 normally invites some play. So I don't know if it's sort of prepared or well prepared or what is it. But rook 1 seemed to me always like a fighting move. Yes? So not c3, not bishop takes c6.
Oh, the 3, then after knight f6, right? Since White often plays c4 at some point, so it can be.
Also against Vasily Ivanchuk in the Moscow Olympiad '94, when I was only 17. Suddenly, I was thinking here how to play, and I came up with the following idea: and queen c4. That's the way I was playing chess when I was 17. Please don't.
d6 d4.
Please don't repeat. No, d6. I don't know what was my point. Maybe b4 I wanted to play. Bishop e6, queen c3.
No, because d4 looks also interesting than e5.
Oh, yeah, maybe no, but actually he plays like this.
b6.
And I think our game happened like this. And then it was okay, like d3, a3, bishop a3, b4, and that was actually a fighting game. And of course, there were lots of comments after such a game that okay, you are playing. So well, I don't know what was his rating at that time. Like one of the absolutely best players in the world. You're playing queen e2, queen c4 at the opening, spending like half an hour. I mean, like. Yeah, so it was one of my experiments when I was young. So rook e1, and e5.
Actually, that's a suggestion to young players that I want to give, that they should experiment. They should play as many openings as they Won't, actually it's good to play many openings to have a wider knowledge of chess, not to stick just one.
One particular. And
well,
nothing
if
more,
you stick to one, let it be at least some classical line. Because if I used to play only the Scandinavian defenses with black, I mean, till I was 15 or something. And I mean, then later on, I still needed to learn a normal opening.
And some nostalgia now, no? And some nostalgia now about the Scandinavian. You are still playing it from time to time.
I got back to it for some Blitz events several years ago, but no, I can't say that I have a nostalgia, but I just want to say that it required more time for me to learn a new opening at an older age, and it's easier to learn new openings when you're young. If you're playing, let's say, Rui Lopez with both colors from a young age, it will make your life easier a little bit later on.
Yeah, exactly. Because the openings are not only about the sequence of moves. It's also about just the type of the position, understanding sort of certain typical ideas. So of course, it's better if you pass it since you was young, but not starting to re-educate yourself when you already like 18 or 25. So. And now, of course, it's a question: why Ekaterina thinking? I mean, she's.
Yes.
What do you think? She has prepared something here, or she's already on her own?
It's quite strange because I mean, after e4, c5, a knight f3 in such situation. Well, first of all, you would expect only c4. Oh, sorry, c5 for black. And after knight f3, it's either knight c6 or e6, right? Because
well, d6 is also
d6,
possible.
bishop b5. There are like more. Solid. There are many solid lines for white, and usually d6 black doesn't play d6 in such a situation.
But theoretically
it's possible. Yes,
it's also possible.
And Wen Jun used to play the Neidorf, but but I don't know. I mean, it's impossible, you know, to guess any single line, and sometimes you just, at the end of such a marathon, you prefer to rest and then to play on your own.
After yesterday's game, so
yes, you cannot just learn. I mean,
just to go to have a rest, then to try
work at the board. Okay, well now Katerina is trying probably to recall her analysis and her work or whatever she discussed. Or she was thinking to play during her home preparation. Again, fortunately I'm not a big expert in this line, because if I played this line I took on c6 with white in most of the games.
Well, white can still take on c6, but I guess then rook e1 is maybe not so profitable, so it's hard to say if white will need this move at all. c3, knight g7, and d4. I think it was also quite a old theory, but normally speaking, black is fine there.
But I mean, how fine? Because if white manages to exchange everything in the center, right? She doesn't mind an equal position.
Yes. In that sense, I don't remember how fine black are. Yeah, and of course we have to remind you that b4 was played in London's match, and after that, it was like knight takes b4, Carlsen replied bishop b2, s6, a3, so it was a continuation in the, I don't know which was the game 6 or no, or game 5, sort of this, yeah?
3 or 5, right?
I think game 5 it was.
5 probably. Well, the first one was Jerusalem was d takes c6.
The third Jerusalem game with white, it was like this, so probably the best idea, the team of
Carlsen
of Caruana came up with.
Caruana.
Yes, before it maybe like a golden pearl of the preparation, but turned out that still golden pearl leads to simplification, and still white has to do some job to make a draw. So, so the overall scheme wasn't changed. So.
Yeah. Well, yes, if c3 d4 is playable.
Well, the most forcing, of course, c3 d4. That's for sure the most forcing line.
But before you're not going to make such a move if you haven't.
If you're sort of unaware of what will happen there, then of course maybe it's not the.
It requires a temporary pawn sacrifice, right? But it will just.
it's not the easiest pick, let's say. So if white plays some knight c3, d3, bishop c4 type of the system, then of course basically rook e1 is just a because let's say if here white is playing, let's say, knight c3, apart from different moves, there is absolutely normal move a5. And then of course white can play still d3, let's say knight g7, and play some position lines even with bishop c4 and sort of this. But then of course rook e1 nobody will basically play. It's just
because
unnecessary.
White's plan is to play f4 at some point,
and sometimes
right?
white is hoping to get f4 in time. So basically after rook e1 e5, white doesn't have so many logical follow-ups, and that's why this move was considered for some time like not the main one. So because let's say if white starts with c3 here, then I think that if black plays e5, there is also not rook e1. It's either some d3 bishop e3 or d4. Mostly I think d4 maybe
d4
here.
Yeah, it looks like.
And okay, there is still some complications after, but for some reason black normally plays knight f6. And okay, it's just another game. So 1 f5. So what she's up to here?
Yes, it's still quite an early stage to start thinking,
If
unfortunately.
white takes on c6 now, then okay, if black takes with a b pawn, then c3 I guess is more or less fine for white.
Jurgen probably is going to take with a
Because
d pawn.
yeah, because then white plays d4 and most likely loss of simplification.
a3. Okay.
A3, that's the way.
Yes, the
Fabiano improved.
improved.
Fabiano improved. Okay, good. I don't know if it's really improved, but
Well,
it's sort of okay.
knight g2 I think will follow, and then before. That's the idea.
Yeah. Fabiano improved should be. Yeah.
Okay, but it still will require pawn sacrifice.
Well, but black can even reply in that fashion, I guess. If they sort of doesn't mind to get some solid positions and castle, and looks very, very solid for black.
Yeah, not kind of position. That's why I think d4
d4. Yeah?
d4 needs to be played in such situations to open up the center to clear it a bit, because if as long as the center is closed, there are maneuvers.
Now it's absolutely equal fight in terms of estimation, and it's like white lost the advantage of the white scholar. So basically, it's just completely playable independent position with every possible result. So.
Probably she plays a3 in order to play d3. So the bishop will not be lost after a6, b5, knight a5. I mean, it's not lost, but exchanged. I don't know. It's rather strange, of course, because bishop b5 usually white doesn't mind sometimes to take on c6 in order to win time, right?
No, but anyway, it's everything possible. Just this rook e1 is basically not really much fitting into that play, because black is not obliged to play, let's say, d5, and then we can maybe take on d5 and use the position of the rook on e1. If black will put the pawn on d6, and then we'll play with f5, let's say, in some moment, then I simply don't know if this rook e1 will be.
Yeah, maybe c3 is more like flexible move, right? In that case. But when playing rook e1, I mean, white prepares for knight f6, as far as I understand, e5, knight d5, so to play c4, like, straight away. And then take probably on c6 and d4.
Okay, it's good for us, because we'll probably see another very, very fighting game, but if it's easy for white, for Ekaterina to keep on controlling the course of the game, since in a couple of moments in the previous games she was already passing a dangerous moments. So, and for Jubin, it's obviously almost a dream, yeah, to get such a position when you need to win already after move 6. You're basically having already a playable position with all pieces on the board.
And close center, which is also quite important.
No any immediate simplifications, nothing. So. And what about the pen? They are still the same?
Well, I think so.
No
I mean,
changes
I think it's just a wish for organizers of the future event, right? To hear. It's difficult to.
It's already too late here, yeah.
Well, here, yeah, we're in the final stage already at the end of this 3 weeks marathon. And
okay, but anyway, it's despite the results, it's a last classical game. So maybe for the last classical game of the whole tournament, it's possible to make a special
assessment,
like like a last game by khanty-mansiysk. So what of this, no?
Maybe, but maybe
no way,
another time.
Another time, yeah.
Since there are gonna be many more chess events, and that's what I want to stress out. That I think. Nowadays, everyone knows where khanty-mansiysk is located in the chess world. After the Olympiad of 2010, I mean, nobody knew, or most of the world didn't know khanty-mansiysk. Well, right now.
Okay, but apart from this chess Olympiad, it was also the World Cups. I think 2005, 2007, 2009.
Right.
Here, so.
And many more important events and women's events, such as Grand Prix and Women's World Rapid and Blitz Championship. And there are gonna be also many more, like World Cup next year. And by the way, usually world champion, women's world champion gets a wild card to participate in this World Cup. That's how I played in khanty-mansiysk in 2009. Also, it was a World Cup, and I got a wild card to play there. And of course, there's gonna be Chess Olympiad in 2020 here again.
2020.
Yes.
Sounds so nice, yeah. Okay.
It sounded so far away, and now it's so close. So.
Yeah, she's basically playing the same lineup which I mentioned, and bishop c4. And just for that line, very, very questionable the presence of rook on e1. So white could have the same with pawn on d3, let's say. So. And it will be still more or less the same. But position actually not so easy then for white to find some way, but it's just possible to play for simplifications like d3, maybe knight d5, takes, and c3, and sort of this. And pretend that you are late Anand, yeah. So because the late Anand is that type of player. Just sit still until the apple will, fall into your arms, yeah. So d6, and I guess d3 probably.
Most likely. No, that's why she made this move a3, right?
But black sometimes can play some plans with h6, also maybe avoiding any possible bishop g5 here. I don't know if it's a threat or not. It's always a question, because some people like to give up the bishops like this, and I basically like to eat these bishops like this. So I don't know who is catching whom. But okay, maybe to avoid this just as a possibility, maybe to go h6, and okay, planning maybe king h8 and maybe f5. Start to play actively here.
So white will prepare something in the center, I believe, or on the queen side.
White can play through the center with some knight e5, I don't know, king h8. And anyway, I guess f5 will come at some moment, so even maybe immediately, let's say c3, maybe f5.
I don't like this position for white.
Okay, but still it's not as bad as it looks.
No, of course not. No, of course not. But it just gives black what she wants to get.
Yeah, but some play. I mean, if you're so much afraid of the pin, maybe I don't know. You can play some knight d2. I don't know, and then, or if you are not afraid of f takes, maybe it's not a threat at all. Maybe then just start some play here. So I'm not saying that it's such a huge attack here goes on, but of course, theoretically speaking, yeah, say some ideas like I don't know, this way maybe with a pawn can take. So yeah, so overall something like this can basically happen. And of course h6 and preparing f5 is only one possible plan. Overall, normally for this, like rook e1, consider it not to be such a useful move for white, but maybe it's not such a bad move either. So, and bishop f6, I guess it's not for today's situation, yeah, because white can even trade on the 6 and
knight g5, yeah, and
then it will be not easy for black to get some active play. Bishop g4, maybe nothing special, since this I believe is okay. Knight is black was jumping, but basically it's not nothing, yes. So because then we play knight d5, c3, and then white should be better. So Ekaterina is thinking maybe she wants to economize and even not play g3 now.
Yeah, because the rook is already on e1, right?
Yeah, I don't know what is what she.
Can she play b4 instead of d3? I know it's.
Of course she can, but the question if she needs to play like this.
No, she's not going to, but just to have a look.
No,
yes,
d3.
Of course she plays. No, of course, no questions about it. h6 immediately.
h6 immediately, good.
Yes, so she's gonna press on the clock. Well, because another advantage for black here is that, I mean, moves are very obvious. Yeah, she has a plan and she can make them pretty fast. So that's what she's been doing. She's still on.
And in general, yes, basically, once you are tired, once you're already at the final stage of such a long tournament, basically, of course, it's good sometimes, you know, just not to think too much and not to get in maybe into another time travel or sort of this, and just, you know, okay, you see the plan h6, king goes at f5, and okay, you're simply playing it. So. Now it's important for white just to keep calm. f5 is coming, but it's not the end of the world. Even if black will succeed in playing f5, it's far from being the end of the world. Nothing special still. So knight d5, c3 is one of the possible ways to meet. Of course, with maybe unnecessary inclusion of rook e1 at the very early stage of the game. And yes, but basically white doesn't have so many plans, so many options here. So.
Well, yes, she needs to do something, right, as well.
Yeah. Okay, she may think now about maybe some b4 move. Okay, and
maybe 95 now.
And trying to play there, but basically b4 is not creating any huge threat. So black may still continue her plan with king.
No, I think 95 looks logical. Yeah, somehow you want to prepare some counterplay either in the center or on the.
And what about some sophisticated moves like this?
Why?
Okay, let's say you will.
Just to prepare knight f1 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then
this way, maybe this way.
It wasn't clear for me. Okay, f4, f3.
Yes, you will attack, and f3. Yeah?
Well, maybe not f3 immediately. Maybe g5. I don't know.
No, so easy to assess. Yeah, looks like maybe white has to play g3, but then of course all types of queen d7, queen h3, all types of this attack may come, and
I don't like this position
who
at
knows,
all.
yeah?
I mean, I know that this attack is, I mean, nothing serious and so on.
At least it's not immediate mate, yeah. So
yes, of course. But
and white is basically controlling the central squares, and the other pieces are not that easy to be around,
yes.
because basically black needs knight on g4 claim a mate, but knight on g4 is probably very hard to get there. And also white has some ideas for the future with queen f1 at some moment. Maybe not immediately, but at some moment it's possible. So yeah, okay, but of course it looks a bit dangerous to allow black to get the pawn on f3 with all these attacking possibilities.
The problem that now it's some kind of in some sense King's Indian, right, structure. I mean, with the bishop there and with black trying to give a checkmate. Okay, it's a bit different because white is not controlling the center. She doesn't have the pawns on d4, c4, but still, this plan is coming of black pushing the pawns on the king side. And of course it's not a checkmate straight away, but it's still, any play, especially direct play against your king, is kind of worrying, especially in women's chess. Hence we tend to react emotionally sometimes, or too emotionally. Overreact, that's the word. So yeah, so as you said, let's hope that white will just stay calm and will find the right way to meet this plan, black's plan.
Well, yeah, I think I played this against Vasily Ivanchuk in Monaco in 2004, but it happened via this move order. Because I already mentioned that against the same Vasily Ivanchuk I played queen e2, queen c4. But I also we played this game, and he played e5, and it was this bishop c4, I think 97, d3, d6, so or maybe castle short.
No e3 move? Have you played?
Yes, maybe I played something like this, and this is actually we have this position, but of course I think I wasn't playing this move here, so. And I don't, but I was playing very badly later on and ended up in quite an inferior position. But even with the tempi up, of course, white is absolutely not forced to play rook e1. But even here, I thought in general that black obtains quite a good game, and for a long time, this knight c3 e5 was considered one of the main replies for black. It's only nowadays proved that knight c3 e5 is slight inaccuracy and should be played d6 and with a forced draw.
Ah, why didn't Katerina play it? And the forced draw after d4?
No, after e5.
After e5.
Yeah, it's a temporary pawn sacrifice,
but
if white is prepared, it's a forced draw. And the other moves, okay, but the problem that apart from d6 and e5, there are other moves. Let's say knight d4 is possible to play, and there is quite a firefighting position after knight d4 in general. But if black plays e5, it's just improved version of.
Well, yeah, I can see it. Yes.
Of what happened, yeah. And well, actually, if she wanted to control the game, then c3 would be.
Yes, c3 I think is a more.
I think Anna Morozevich played this against Anastasia Bodnaruk even in this tournament, and we were commenting that game. It was like this castle, and it was also in a game when she needed just a draw to qualify. It was the second game. Was this, and actually it's a quite.
Didn't she take on c6 at some point? I think she did.
No, maybe
take
later. It was some knight e4, knight bd2, maybe it was something like this.
I thought that the bishop was.
And with such a play, it's maybe easier for white to force some simplifications. As maybe it's easier to control the course of the game in general, yeah, because it's the structure is more or less fixed, and black doesn't have so much play. So black is also sort of forced to play within a certain rhythm, and it's kind of fine. So just rook e1 and castle and d4. So
yeah,
that was the game.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, so
c3, knight f6, rook e1, castle, d4, d5, e5, knight e4, bishop takes c6.
Ah, first, yeah.
Bishop takes c6 here, b takes c6, knight b2, d2.
Yeah. Yes, and with such a play, white can also force some answers from black.
And knight d5 has been played.
Okay, but anyway, of course, white in the present game, white went for something really fighting. So fighting in terms that the game goes on. So and h6 and knight e5 here. King h7 immediately.
Yeah, she's going to press on the clock.
h7 immediately.
As fast as she can. I mean, well, now her moves are pretty obvious, right? What to think. I mean, she has this plan: h6, king, h7 or h8, and then f5. So why bother and think?
Okay, but after f5, can't we? Okay, if let's say we pass. Yeah. Okay, if c3 is not a pass, of course, but let's say let's just count if we can play this.
Ah, nice. And game over. Oh well, king g6, right?
It's maybe not yet game over, but it's sort of interesting. Yeah? King g6 maybe.
Well, I think it's well, not the only move, right? Queen. Well, after king h8, queen h5, right, is possible.
Well, first of all, let's be sure that this is over. Yeah?
But yeah, bishop is, I don't think bishop takes g5.
Bishop g5, and now it's over because knight g it is not possible because of the pin. Yeah. Okay. So that's why we have to play king g6 most likely, and but here of course very tempting to
find a checkmate. Let's do it together. Look, there is a possibility like knight f4, f4. Well, just want to show the idea. It doesn't work, but knight f7, rook f7, queen h5, but it doesn't work right now. That's something.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's after king g6 it's this, if it's checkmate or not. If not, but still maybe I can just find some playable move, no?
I'm sure they can. It feels like they can. Feelings.
Okay, maybe it's part of Juvenjon plan to activate the king early on, yes, with king g6.
At least it's not black who's trying to checkmate. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like.
Black first take on d5, then it's even maybe a better version for white, yeah, because then f5 still, if here f5, white can still play takes, and knight g5 still. Ah, no, here it's actually not possible, yeah, because queen h5, bishop h6. So maybe like this she can do.
Wanted to find my game with Anna Morozevich in this line.
But then okay, white can maybe play some knight d2, just slowly play on. Black can play some knight e7, bishop e2. And normally from the human standards it's considered to be sort of potentially dangerous for white, but from the computer standards, I remember because I was playing it with the vice versa colors. Normally, computer was already saying that black is better. So normally, computer must think that white is better always in that type of lines, because quite oftenly white plays the same lines in some English openings, and it's quite a frequent situation that white is playing like black and black is playing like white. So
yeah, I found this game where I got destroyed. This Rosalima.
Yeah, since if white pair of knight is exchanged, and then it's not that easy for black to start some huge attack on the king side, and white then plays with b4 and starts to finding their play here, and means this direct idea that I will go f4, g5, and
what's going on? Why is black thinking? Why is she's thinking?
Because she has a possibility to take on d5 first and to go f5, or to go f5 without exchanging on d5, but it allows knight g5 check. So it's already
a good starting point. And probably that's, I mean, all the first moves that have been played, she planned to make them at home. Quite a possibility. And now it's a really first moment on her own. Because here her plan is obvious, right? Connected with f5, but then white might have some counterplay. Of course, it's It's quite difficult to play this game when you just require not to lose, as it was just a regular game, you know. Quite important to focus on the game and not on your thoughts, but...
Well, I mean, in the high sense, maybe this rook one still a bit unnecessary, but overall, maybe it doesn't spoil what position. Still, the main, I mean, the structure is there, so why the white can deal even with the upcoming f5 or sort of it. Of course, f5 takes knight g5, king g6 is very stylish play, so inviting some applause from the audience, yeah, sort of.
To finish it beautifully.
Because, okay, apart from playing f5 and starting this, it's not that easy also for black to find some active plan. Since playing just through the center and simplifying is obviously not enough for them, so that's how we got. So that black could maybe first take on d5 here, and the bishop takes f5. Then okay, here basically this idea is not working properly because it's the pawn on g5 is protected. So. And okay, and it's not necessary for white now to
Can she play b4?
Yes, yes.
But before is an f4 probably, right? But it's still not the end of the world.
Yeah, so looks flexible for white, so hard for black to
get
through. Only you need to worry about such a possibility, but probably it's not here. Yeah? You can take like this,
and then rook e3.
This rook e3, yeah? I'm just not sure.
And knight g5 doesn't work?
Just not sure.
Queen g5, right?
Yes, knight g5, queen g5, yeah. But I'm just not sure how pin is strong also, objectively, if I would simply be extremely greedy, meaning that d5, bishop takes c6, I'm ready to simplify, so...
And play another endgame.
It's also not entirely clear if it's... So black may go for some knight e7 to keep more pieces, and white will play, I don't know, somewhere.
Do I need to retreat the bishop?
I don't know, but I will take,
Can I, for example, take on c5 first?
I will try to then I take.
Then if you take, I take and take on e5.
Okay, but this
but
is...
you have two bishops. And
this is quite good, I think, for black. No, at least it's two bishops, some weak pawns, d3, c3, so maybe it's already some play. No, but okay, you can simply keep the bishop, basically no need immediately to change the whole structure, but now this taking you... but then check, so it's no pin. Then okay, then it's sort of fine. And f4 here is already, we can take, maybe go d4 sometimes, but anyway, we want to transfer knight somewhere, so... Yeah, it's like a whole game, so... And if black is immediately playing f5, still white may not respond here and just, you know, continue whole
and
plan
after knight
with
d5, can I take with the pawn?
Knight d5.
Looks a bit dubious, I understand, but with the idea to play d4, I mean, if you retreat the knight to e7, to play d4. If you play knight a5, then bishop a2, I'm threatening to play b4. And you need to protect your knight somehow, and then I will play d4 anyway.
Okay, imagine we played here and d4, yeah? Well, maybe it's possible, just overall it's hard to say if it's a...
necessary, yes.
Big achievement for white,
but I'm just trying to force the game. It's not probably the right thing to do, but yeah, taken.
Taking maybe some knight f5, I don't know. Well, it's possible to play position more or less symmetrical one, but I just in general don't see a huge
risk.
Huge, this huge attack coming for the black. So maybe white can still play her own game with b4 and just keeping the position still without any risky changes. So late Anand is required here. So
it's Katerina's motto, right? For this game.
It should be like her style, like switching late Anand, like a tumble switch.
F5. Okay,
F5.
Now let's calculate.
Great.
Now let's do it.
No. Late Anand, please. No. Late
Anand. We don't take on
before late Anand. So no.
Before. But after e takes f5, still, I mean, black is going to take with the piece, I believe. Not with the pawn.
Yeah. No. Even don't calculate this. If what will happen, no, late Anand. So everything what is required. So I don't know if she knows about the existence of this chess playing mode. So, but.
Well, nowadays it's terrible because we keep getting different inquiries about from parents about their kids. I mean, for our chess schools and so on. And the very last email that we got was something like this: "Oh, we missed your kids' tournament. Can you please inform us for the future tournaments? I have a 9-year-old daughter, and her level of play, well, you usually expect, in Russia it's, well, in Europe it's rating. In Russia we have, I don't know how to say it in English, some first, second, third, I mean, not grade, but some marks that indicate that we compare to rating and we understand relative power of certain player. But today parents say 7-8-year-old Magnus, the level of play.
The level of play.
8-year-old Magnus, because there is an application
yeah,
play Magnus, I think, and every single kid is playing it. So
every single, yeah.
Well, I mean, all the kids that I know around me who go to chess schools, chess clubs.
Okay, but maybe we have to make an application late Anand, no? Maybe we have to make a special application for the professional chess players, and we call it late Anand, and so it will be
Anand
at his late 30s.
I would be careful. I'm not sure how it sounds, because usually when people die, we say late somebody.
Okay, but if it has this additional meaning, we can basically say, okay, like,
Because yesterday, for example, I was commenting this Carson Corona game on one YouTube channel, and there was a guy who asked me, why didn't Govorukhin invite you anymore? Why doesn't Govorukhin invite you anymore to his films? I mean, to his movies. Well, yes, that was kind of.
Okay, but we can make just application, let's say Vishe, and then it
will
also
be, by the age.
It will be divided. Yes, 35, 38. I mean, that's one drawing ways how to kill any intrigue in the chess game. Let's say 40, 45. Then let's say maybe current Vishe, and then it will be.
But it will already be
even
like
the future Vishe, maybe 50 plus Vishe when it's already not even zero chance.
I'm afraid
to
it's
play
already
chess,
copyrighted by Magnus. Yes, I mean, to do something like this.
But
it's Vishe, but
I mean, I can't do any other application at all.
Anand.
Okay, but I'm not pretending to make an application play Magnus.
Play Magnus too.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 or 3, but I think it's just specifically for the professional players how to keep the position intact, how not to panic, how to just
Actually, I would be interested to hear from our spectators
how to change pieces, and to make it draw, because sometimes you think that young players are so well prepared and they're making draws, but I mean when I say late Vishe, I mean that you are not necessarily should be so well prepared, but you're just following some simple logic, and the game itself, you should play chess like a game itself. I mean, so the most important nuance itself. So no any real measures, no any real efforts, no any real pressure, just itself, like zhuch, and it's draw. And then it's fine. Then it's of course it should be like an application divided by ages, and I guess I'll be first to buy, I'll be first to download, submit, or whatever I need this form, or whatever. Please subscribe, to follow, because
like,
yeah.
share,
Yes.
and so on.
And so all this possible things, because I was normally missing it during my chess career. So even in the situation when it was much more wiser just to stay calm and make a draw, still I was trying to follow my ideas or follow my so-called style, and then of course it's quite often I was paying quite a huge price for following that. And this type of the position exactly requires a knowledge of this non-existent application. And then of course for Yekaterina, I guess it should be no problem to keep the game going without so much troubles. And this application, Play Magnus starts with which age? Zero? Or
I have no idea because I don't have this
you
application.
don't have it?
I have application Magnus Trainer, which I like. It's with the basic rules of chess, well, at least the very first level, and different exercises for memory, for logic, not necessarily connected to chess, but probably with chess pieces, and something very similar we use in my school and for kids, to develop kids, not only to teach them how to play chess, but also to develop them and to prepare them for school. So what I wanted to ask our spectators is, what applications do they use? Chess applications, I mean, mostly. We're talking, yes, Play Magnus, I've heard a lot, and
okay, but actually maybe it's time to find our national hero. But why we're always saying like Play Magnus, okay, like
just the application he made. What can we do? I don't know.
Maybe it's time to to find our national hero. So what do you think? Who can be the most probable pick? Let's say if we want to make, we want to make application and we want to implement some.
If we're talking about Russia, well, now Sergei Karyakin, I think, will be the most downloadable downloadable application.
Downloadable Sergei Karyakin. Okay,
yes,
now
so
we see.
Let's do it. Why didn't he do it yet?
So we have to also divide players by downloadable, or
no, of course, if you make an application, you want people to buy it, to download it, right? You don't want it to sit on the
Play
shelves.
Magnus, you have to pay, or it's for free?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, sometimes there's like, you can download it, play one level, like 5-year-old Magnus for free, and then if you want to challenge a 10-year-old Magnus, then you need to pay, but I'm not sure how it works. I mean,
I also heard a lot about this application, but since I'm old-fashioned guy, even without a smartphone, so I can't be smart playing Magnus, so yet. Okay, maybe these days will come one day, but
as you see, yes, days are coming.
Not yet, yeah. So downloadable Sergei Karyakin, and what can be his application possible?
Well, many. I mean, defend like Sergei Karyakin.
Defend.
Yeah, he's the Minister of Defense. So
defend like Sergei Karyakin. Yeah.
Yes.
And then it will be
all the fortresses, endgames, everything that's possible.
Thousands of examples how to do to successfully defend. Yeah.
Yep.
Defend this way, that way. And
it's very useful in modern chess as well.
Okay. And what when we can see it? I mean, what is Zankalis is doing then? So.
Let's ask Sergei. Let's tweet him that there is a proposal to develop his application. That chess world is in so much need.
So the best defender of the world makes an unique application, yeah? Defend with me, yeah?
Well, we need to follow, I mean, we need to be, I don't know, not to follow that, but we talked about chess books in our previous broadcast. And the problem with young people, you mentioned answering that question, that they don't read. Yeah. No, because when I talk to my daughter, for example, young people, they like YouTube very much. And they watch different podcasts, their video casts, and everything. So they love applications. when you bring something on paper, they're not fascinated so much anymore. But when you bring something on an iPad, that's another story.
That's another story.
So, I mean, you need to follow modern trends.
No, really, we now I understand with our conversation that we really miss modern
technology.
Modern technologies and the modern applications. So, yeah.
So we should not stay old-fashioned in the modern world.
Well, since especially we have so many young and talented players, so we can actually divide them. So by the more strong features, so I don't know, defend with Sergei Karyakin. I don't know what
attack
else.
With
attack with this, defend like this, play gambits like this, and sort of this. So, and Yekaterina is suddenly into very deep thought.
Well, she's been thinking for quite a while. I mean, from the opening, and now it's like also seems to be like the key moment.
I think for Vishy 35-38, it will take a couple of minutes to come up with some moves like b4.
Well, there are some very talented players who are fortunate enough to think very fast and very strong and play very strong. Always envy these players, but and some, I mean, like
who?
I don't know, quite a few, but I mean, for regular human beings, I mean, regular chess players, we require time to think, and sometimes quite a lot of time. Because we're just not capable.
And you think as a player is playing fast and cannot control his thinking, he is a gifted guy?
Who cannot control?
Yeah, I mean, if the player you think that he can play so fast, I mean, you think it's a sort of some indication that he understands position much faster, or he simply cannot control his emotions or mental status.
Yes, it depends on the player. But if we're talking about Vishwanathan Anand, I've heard that he, in his young, years, he played very fast and pretty strong. So, so I wish I could play as Anand. But it's not always the case. So that's why most of the players, they need time and they spend time and they end up in time trouble.
Yes.
But what can you do?
Maybe some implication time trouble tricks, no?
Maybe, yeah.
How to play in the
I've read several articles how to play blitz, how to play
Tate.
Not
maybe good. It can be divided also. Severe time trouble, just very severe time trouble, normal time trouble, upcoming time trouble, and it can be also divided by this different things, yeah. Yeah. So of course we also have a couple of players who can be like heroes in that topic. So, but for Katerina it's maybe time to wake up, huh? After all,
now she needs to.
Since this application, a severe time trouble is not yet there, so
she hasn't really trained, right?
So to avoid going into any sort of time trouble today, she has to keep the position and her time management basically within the normal, let's say, grounds, and because she plays this knight d5 c3 relatively fast, and after f5, okay, maybe she's hesitating to take on f5 or not to take,
Yes.
Because otherwise, like, you can play
knight
d2,
not
you
to
can
play
knight
to play
d2
before, not
quickly,
to play
you can
before.
play b4, knight d2 relatively quickly, I mean, without spending so much time, so...
Well. There are many moves to consider, right? Before as well, I like it as well.
Also, there is a nice question, let's say, when you are coming to any other countries, let's say, not for leaving purposes or for staying, but just to play some tournament. Did you ever try to learn some words or something on the native language? Is it common for you?
No, it's not common.
No? It's not common at all. So because we have some video, and in this video you can see that lots of players which came here to play this World Championship, they were actually trying to learn Russian language, and so we can now take a look and to see how successful were their efforts.
I have to read it.
Yes.
It's difficult.
Is it the Russian alphabet as well?
Yes, yes.
Oh goodness. Okay, I don't really know. Yeah. Oh. Hola. I don't know. Hello. I don't know. What does that say?
Oh my god. Sopa?
What is that letter anyway?
U.
That's a U?
U.
Oh, Ura or something.
Okay, fish.
Ra. Ugra?
Yugra. This is the place we are in.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Yugra.
yes.
Yugra. Oh,
Yugra.
Nice.
Mamot.
What does it mean? How do you think?
Woman.
Mammoth. Mammoth. Lips.
I'm trying to figure out what is M. I mean Russian M, and what is it in
It's
English?
M.
It's also M in English?
Yes.
So mamont?
Mamont? It's an animal, I think. It's a wild animal. Da? Mamont?
A mammoth.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't think it would be that. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. It's difficult.
Ooh. How do you say the first letter?
Ch. Che.
Yeah, no, how do you...
Shehmat?
No.
It probably means chess. Does it mean chess?
No, no.
No.
Nemoat?
Чемпионат? Чемпионат, да. Чемпионат мира. Например. Oh my god, yeah, no. I have no idea what that means.
Guamatbi.
One more time.
Guamatbi.
I don't know. Isn't that like a W? Aren't you supposed to like...
No. It sounds like shh, shh.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
This is Shahmati.
Shakmati.
Yes.
Chess?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
How?
Shahmati.
Shahmati. Oh, Shahmati. It's chess, of course. Shahmati. No.
Khanty-Mansiysk, of course. The name of the city.
Khanty-Mansiysk.
Khanty-Mansiysk. Khanty-Mansiysk.
Khanty-Mansiysk. It's the place we are now. It's very beautiful. It's like a fairy tale with the snow. Khanty-Mansiysk?
Yes.
Yeah, like I've seen it a few times around.
I need to work on my Russian.
Спасибо. How does those letters like make that sound? I don't get it.
What is the most crazy word in Russia?
Заткнись. This was one of the first words I learned when I was a child, and I was every time I was angry with somebody, I would say "заткнись."
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Khanty-Mansiysk for the fourth game of the final match for the World Women Championship title here. And as you may already know, Yekaterinka Lagno is playing against China's player Zhu Wenjun. And now the quite a tense situation is on the board. Black needs only to win, and Yekaterinka, she is having white pieces, and it's enough for her just to make a draw to become a new world champion. But despite all these factors, the current situation on the board is quite tense. And after a pretty long thought, after move f5, White has taken quite an important decision. She decided to take on f5. So of course it was not really necessary to go for such a exchange. And after this, of course, the black player makes the most
aggressive,
the most risky, the most challenging, I mean, whatever call it, move G takes f5, allowing knight g5 check, and probably planning to answer it with king g6. Then of course it's very tempting for white to try to win the game with some checkmates and sort of this. But probably it isn't that.
It's too early to finish the game.
If knight goes back, then black may even think later about some f4 moves. I don't know if they exist or not.
The pawn on f4 will be hanging at some.
No, because if white plays f4, then
it's
maybe kind of. But this move, I don't know if it's actually playable or not. Still, of course, very dangerous to play like this, but who knows? If bishop takes f4, maybe even knight d5 first.
Bishop takes h3 also a possibility.
Bishop takes h3, so
maybe d4.
Yeah, maybe d4. Yeah, but then of course with some maths goes on, so king is weak, but at the same time,
it's gonna
black
be
has
hot
some tempest
today in Khanty-Mansiysk. Yes, despite the temperature outside minus, I don't know, 10 or 12 Celsius. Yeah.
We can expect something really hot, yeah.
On the chessboard. And don't forget to send us your tweets and questions and comments. And by this time, I'm sure you know the official hashtag. So
by heart and and forever. Yeah,
well, in case you don't,
this hashtag is lives inside of you. Yeah.
So
we were repeating it as often as some typical Indian mantra. So it's like hashtag. We also invented our own hashtags, but we were not repeating them as a mantra, so I'm sure that you're missing them. And knight g5 was a very, very tempting check, but after king g6 is a question if white will find something different than playing knight h3 and trying to go f4.
Maybe there is some kind of perpetual.
Perpetual, you are
perpetual.
Perpetual.
Let's perpetual. Let's find a perpetual.
Let's perpetual black, yeah.
Yes.
I will torture you to perpetual. Yeah?
Perpetual. I'm gonna perpetual. Yes.
Okay.
And we can hear our Russian colleagues who are talking about queen takes f7.
Queen takes f7?
Yeah, they're discussing some lines and they say queen f7, queen takes f7, and I think, wow. They always
find
they impress us with their abilities.
So far ahead of us. We're still, somewhere at the beginning they're already seeing some endgame coming, so.
Yes. What can you do? And if after queen knight g5, king g6, I go to f3, back to f3.
Yeah, just
I found a perpetual.
Yes, but I want to maybe.
You want to improve?
I want to make some
to
maybe.
Make it,
no, maybe to make a stupid draw like this. I don't know if it exists. Now it's seemingly not possible, but still let's check this, this, and h4.
Not too beautiful, huh?
Queen e8. Queen e8. Queen e8.
Usually.
Yeah, Queen e8.
I'm well aware that usually all those beautiful lines are destroyed and ruined on the very first move. Yes, and if I get back with the knight to a normal square.
Oh, but then black can maybe take it here and already just continue playing, so because there are no immediate threats. Yeah. I'm just I don't know how to play here, but just to.
The only thing that worries me is Katerina's time. Well, it's still not that
critical
yet, but we're getting there. Yes.
Sometime, yeah, because still, obviously, black is looking for complications, and she will go all in. Since anyway she has nothing to lose, and of course to keep enough time, and this is probably quite essential.
No, I'm just trying to checkmate somewhere. I'm calculating knight takes e7, king.
Knight f7, yeah, that's
knight e7. No. Knight takes e7, because if you take with the knight, I'm gonna play knight e6. So queen takes e7, and here I'm trying to, I don't know, I was calculating h4, but somehow couldn't find how. Can't see anything. Maybe knight h3 here. Yeah, knight h3 here, because f4 is not possible. So it's already. And if I go knight f4, knight d5, it's, I think, a good sign for me. Even after king h7, for example, queen h5 is okay. It looks fine, sure. Huh? Yeah, that's I like. That's what I like.
King is a bit too active here. In some sense.
Rook e3, transfers are coming.
Transfers, yeah. Also the favorite.
Remember
the favorite,
those famous, but d4 also a possibility.
Transfers are coming.
Yeah. We want to see knight g5 on the board. Let's check first.
We will see. No, we will see, I guess. Yeah.
No, well, it's in Katerina's style, right? As we already mentioned, she's
and the first knight h3, then we thought maybe f4, but
f4,
even here, maybe.
But even but yes, then
take it, then go d4.
Probably, but then bishop takes h3. I mean, and then
yeah, but how to defend the king now?
Who knows?
Just to come back.
Just to go back. Yeah. Well, here's this pawn chain. I don't really like it very much. I mean, it still can be perfectly fine for white, but I think without letting the pawn.
Yeah, with this bishop on c1 can be potentially. Even
and the
for
king.
this,
I mean, I hate double pawns.
Hate?
Yeah, I don't like them.
You didn't mention before.
But we were talking only. We were talking only about outside things outside chess world. There are some things on the chessboard that make me very uncomfortable.
So double pawns.
No, she didn't.
She plays b4.
Well, it's strange. It's very strange. No, why to take on f5 then? I mean, maybe it's a good move, but knight g5 looks so tempting.
Okay, it's the more standard reply from white. b4.
Maybe it's not that bad, right? Maybe she wants to improve somewhere. e4 will never work, I believe, because of knight g5.
No, e4 is too early for black. Yeah.
Kind of harakiri.
First, she needs to stabilize. Yeah.
Okay, how to stabilize?
I don't know. Hard to say. And some moves like knight g, but knight g6.
But knight g6, knight g5, no?
Still, I don't like so much. Knight g5. If I take
queen h5.
Bishop h6.
If I wanted to take bishop g5, and doesn't work.
But in general, it's always a question: shall we leave this knight strong on e5? But without the pawn on e4, it's not that strong, because with the pawn on e4, and since white has taken on e takes, g takes, so black is giving the square for the knight. I'm not sure that it's such a great piece on g6, but just trying to avoid maybe simplifications, and also this knight on d5 can be slightly hanging in some later lines, maybe some bishop b6, and try to play. I mean, okay, it's hard to say, of course, if it's objectively a good idea.
Well, bishop b6, I think then. Now I will be trying hard to make knight g5 work on every move. Like yesterday, I was trying hard to make knight e6 work. Here I have another obsession. So, please excuse me.
Okay, so let's talk then about your
obsessions.
Okay, not yet obsessions, but about your just a pure chess shortcomings, I say. So double pawns, you hate them, yeah?
I don't
like any
Oh,
double
no,
pawns, or
no,
just,
some extra double pawns far advanced. No, I don't mind, but definitely double pawns around my king, for example. Don't like.
So let's say Karo-Khan's modern line with d takes e4, knight e4, knight f6. You simply can't play, yeah?
No, but
Because
it's not double pawns at my side.
Okay, but
It
let's
is
say from
when
the black side, let's say knight
From the
f6.
black side, probably no.
You can't play that because
Well,
in either capture,
I mean, I will be.
already have
I
a
need
double
to
pawns
play a few.
around your king. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be worried.
Okay.
I will be worried.
So I guess because now it's it comes in fashion, so it's.
No, I played here as a Petrov with knight c3 and double pawns.
You
Twice.
see, yeah,
So-
twice. And
so
also
you
the
see,
double pawns
even
within
though
your-
I
within
might
your
be
king.
quite worried, but it double pawns in a not known situation. But
You will avoid, yeah.
well, I will try to avoid. Yes.
And so nothing else apart from the double pawns.
No, just double pawns.
Double pawns.
Yes,
the
that's
only
it.
thing,
The only problem.
The only worry. Yeah? Great. Actually, maybe we give an idea for lots of the players that maybe they have to realize what are their problems in that terms. I mean, maybe double pawns, maybe
Triple
sometimes
pawns.
triple, maybe extra pawns, maybe pass pawns, maybe backward pawn or whatever. Maybe
Just
even
realize
not,
your
maybe
problem,
even not,
yeah,
maybe
that's-
even not related to pawns at all, but still it should be.
That's the first step to remove your problem, to realize it.
And let's say if the knight is on the edge of the board, it's not a problem, yeah?
As long as it's heading towards the center.
But if he's just stuck there, let's say.
Of course, I'm worried about my stuck on the edge pieces. But
But not that much. Okay.
sometimes I do put them there. Anyway.
Yeah, normally solving this
I
problem
recall
on
my poor knight on b8 with Anna Morozevich in the second game of our tiebreak. Well,
Yeah.
I played terribly, and I had this poor knight on b8, and I was so sorry for this knight.
I guess the knight was sorry
Sorry
to
for
you.
me, yes.
Sorry to you.
So,
What
can you do? I
what a
mean,
lady, yeah? Okay.
sometimes you share those feelings, but you can't do anything.
Well, but talking to the pieces normally at least calms you down. Yeah, that's a normal
Hello,
therapy.
little guy.
Yeah, that's a normal
How you
therapy for
feeling
the
there?
chess players. Yeah.
Yes, that's already, I think, not the best sign you can imagine of. But
But it's actually nice therapy. So
I
sometimes
play
you have
chess
to
all
talk.
the
Yeah.
time in my dreams during this tournament. Somehow I played and analyzed some games, and when I was waking up in the middle of the night, I was realizing that I just played, or I had just an interesting position and so on. So I was kind of in a chess mood.
Okay, I think we got a couple of questions from
Oh,
the
finally. Thank you.
from the spectators. Let's see. Juvenjun allows knight g5 check. If she somehow makes this work, she deserves to get back into the match. Question for both Alex and Alex: what are the black's chances here in a practical game?
Another thing that I hate when people call me Alex. Just
Alex?
Yeah.
And the other things it's okay, yeah?
Right. But anyway, thank you for your question. You see, I'm a complicated person. But anyway,
Okay.
well, I think
You
black.
can call me as you wish. I mean, I'm not complicated in that terms. I mean, I'm not saying it only to Alexandra, but to any spectator. You can call me even a log. I mean, so I will not be kind of offended or sort of this. Also, I've already mentioned that Yegor is my other name, and quite oftenly I'm addressed by the other chess players either to this or that. So okay, so basically that's what we are trying to say to you, that black are trying, and black, to my understanding, has certain chances in that game, since anyway position is more or less complicated with all. Yes, and she played knight g6 with all the pieces yet presented at the board. A knight on d5 now, since she exchanged the pawn, e takes g5, g takes e5, now is less stable situation, and that's why I believe that it was quite an important and quite a responsible decision by white, since she also gave the square knight g6 for the black knight. Of course, knight on g6 is not some tremendous piece, but anyway, it allows black to avoid the simplifications, and that's why the application Anand 35-38 for Ekaterina, please. And not only for Ekaterina, for me as well. I'll be the first to subscribe, to buy, to pay, to play, and everything like this. So please, if you know any programmers or any chess fans, enthusiasts, please. We even not yet here to open the pool for 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 accumulating some money for that, but I think it's a really nice idea that more application which will allow to train at certain things about chess. I guess they should be on the market also.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that Katerina might regret her decision not to play knight g5.
Taking on f5 is only connected with knight g5 normally. Yeah. Otherwise, simply you just better avoid trading the pawn at all. I mean, so if you decided after long thought to take on e5 and g takes f5 is not, then of course knight g5 should be played. Regards from Transylvania. Thus will be draw after knight g5.
Here now.
Here. But we don't see the draw yet. I mean,
maybe,
we would like to have a draw, but how?
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, maybe you meant not now. Maybe instead of b4, knight g5, and maybe draw. Okay, maybe, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. And now it will be a full game with all possibilities for black and white. And white has to be careful now about this knight on d5 because it's still a little bit hanging. So it's not so obvious yet, but in the future positions still.
Yeah, and I don't like ideas connected with f4.
And Alexandra's idea to knight g5, king g6, even simple knight e7, I like a lot. With queen takes e7, knight h3, and I think for black it's really not so easy to make any possible move there. So, because in the worst case, just f4 will happen, and while white will control the black's chain, or it is some knight f4, queen h5. There are lots of ideas, so it will be not so easy for black to.
And if there is a chance that Jun didn't see this move coming, then it's even stronger. It makes this move much stronger.
No, I guess knight g5 they both have seen, I guess, but probably after king g6 they maybe
didn't see anything.
They maybe evaluated per position like playable for black. I mean, or
with the king on g6 at least.
Yes.
Then
okay,
no, that means that black will need to spend one more move to get it back, right? She cannot play with the king on g6 in the middle.
Well, maybe the alpha zero
for a long time. Well, alpha zero, yes.
And what is it? Because in some of the games we've seen that she likes to say neutralize the king. So
yeah, but in 30 minutes on the clock, which makes it b5. That's unexpected.
Another committal decision. Okay. Because in some sense white is kicking the knight from c6, but on the other sense now the black center is quite stable. But her idea
that knight c to e7 is not possible right now. Knight g5. Well, that's how I understand. So basically, yes, she needs to go knight a5, but then at least the knight is on the edge, right?
But
bishop a2, and yeah, maybe some ideas connected with d4 after f4. Somewhere in bishop b1. But yeah, but there are some ideas connected to c4 here. Even
white will later will play c4.
No, black. I mean, can but
white
not maybe
can't
now.
Yet play it, yeah?
No, I don't think she wants to play c4. I think she wants to prepare d4 or to be prepared to play d4 after f4, because it's definitely black's plan to play f4 at some point, to try to play f4 and to create something on the king side.
Well, bishop a6 and c4 can also plan for black.
You think c4 is a good move?
Rook c8.
For black, yes.
Yeah, for black maybe to play like this, and later maybe transfer knight to c5, or just to press against the pawns.
Yeah. But I mean, to sum up, I think Jun got whatever she wanted. I mean, was black.
Maybe not whatever, but she got an absolutely playable position.
Yes,
with
you cannot get a winning position with black, but she got a very complicated position with all the pieces on the board, and with a huge time advantage for the moment.
Yeah.
45 minutes, time advantage.
I guess she understood that maybe she's so tired that she needs to play more intuitively and more faster. I think it's
Faster, yeah, probably.
This is her idea for the coming game, because the previous games she was giving chances, but she was playing a bit heavily, like a bit with maybe too much pressure, and then maybe she came up with the idea that okay, just play more easy, play just chess and don't reflex too much, yeah.
And stick to the motto written on her jacket. She has a jacket
and
written,
what is written
whatever.
There? Whatever.
So, in other words, relax and enjoy. Yes, and
whatever.
Probably
yeah, that's
not up to you. Whatever will happen, but so.
That's a motto, yeah. Whatever. Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, and she's about to make her move. Yes, she's definitely playing fast.
Yeah. No, but actually it's not. She just simply realized that she can't play, these hard games with long thinking and sort of this. So just, play reasonably, play fast, play actively.
And hope for time trouble from your opponent,
and hope
right?
just to get some chances. And once if you give it a chance, then try to focus and try to calculate. If not, then just continue this, continue looking for chances and play reasonably fast. I think for her present situation is quite a logical strategy, and for Yekaterina now the strategy is less obvious, how she wants to control the.
Yeah, I don't like in b5, and because it's kind of securing black center.
Okay, but sometimes the white trump this knight on f5, which will be probably for quite a long time. Temporary, not temporary out of play, but also white needs to decide if c4 is basically the move they're afraid or not. So basically something like, I don't know, okay, let's say some pass, I don't know. And just in general to understand if it's something which you don't like or seemingly sort of okay, let's say black plays like this, and then some e4 is coming, knight e5 may jump. It can be some mess on the board with also a bit of strange structure for white. And a bit strange structure for black, so let's say if white plays some knight d2, I don't know, then of course black can play some e4, meaning that sometimes we can take on d5, take on c3, maybe meaning sometimes we can activate the knight, so...
Yes.
So in general, I'll be, at least from the white side, I'll be trying to answer if I really afraid of it. Of course we can take with the bishop on c4, but then white is of course happy to exchange this poor knight and then just to focus on playing through the center and try to attack on the king side. If white is worried, then she needs to come up with some ideas. Let's say if white just making, okay, let's say f4 is more useful in general than maybe king h1, and still if black follows the same idea.
Maybe bishop a3 may come.
Yes, bishop a3, but we can then happily take it, no?
No, I don't. Maybe knight e3 or something.
Like this? Okay,
or take first, yes, and then knight e3.
No, knight 3 is maybe, but taking is you giving such a strong bishop, no? Rook c3 maybe. No?
Bishop d6.
Bishop d6. Okay, but this looks absolutely playable for black.
Yes.
Yeah, because the pawn on e5 seems to be defended, and some rook 8 and some e4 may come f4, so... Well, I'm not saying that c4 is of course the first move which I will play from black at every given occasion, but in general, from the white's point of view, that's a move which you need to reckon with, so... And maybe she can... Yeah, it's not also so simple to make a move with white. Yeah, rook b1 can be also played, but rook b1 also looks...
But
like
the bishop on a2 is not protected then.
Yeah, and the bishop is
knight e7 will...
Yeah, and even if white later plays c4, still this bishop on e2 then will be completely out of play. And black can even slowly play some b6, knight b7, queen d7, and knight d8, and bring knight around f7
maybe bishop
to e6.
d2, then after c4, b takes c4, rook c8. First of all, the pawn on c3 is protected, and second, I might, I don't know, queen e2 to protect the pawn on c4. Something like this.
Yes, maybe. this idea, but it's maybe nothing special. Yeah, but the position which will be not so easy to play for both sides, yeah?
Yes.
So black can even make some passes like b6 and just making some useful moves.
It might become a problem after a few more minutes, because 27 minutes.
Because in this position, white is a bit stuck, yeah. So it's not so. Let's say if black makes some pass, I don't know, some.
Yeah, rook a to d1. What can I do?
Yeah, and it's not so easy for both sides maybe to come
rook
up with
d1,
some.
bishop c1, and
Black is potentially having this e4 95 idea.
well, they
one
always
day,
have
one day.
e4, f4. Yeah,
But of
white
course,
should
once
consider
e4,
it.
then knight d4, and we're giving that square, so it's maybe not so critical yet. So maybe first to find the place for the queen, I don't know, then maybe e4 95.
Well,
Okay,
the
but
plan
of
here
course
would be
it's,
rook a to d1, bishop c1, a4, bishop a3, and start to play for the d6 pawn. But of course, it's long, and
yeah. So
but I don't like the b5.
you don't.
But okay, it was her idea, right? When she played b4, to play b5.
No, I think you could simply play b4 without taking on f5. I mean, then of course it's much safer to play that way, keeping the pawn on e4. But since she has taken on f5, I was completely sure that her next move is knight g5 after g takes e5. And this combination takes b4 looks a bit strange, yeah, since it also gives black chance to play knight g6 and to avoid. And then she was thinking again and played b5. So sort of maybe she's not so sure about what she has to do.
The current position, because it's
and the time is becoming less and less
critical already.
25
minutes for 25 moves, right?
For 25 moves, and black has
black has enough.
Black has enough, yeah. Well, anyway, it's too early to say that something goes really wrong for white. Just maybe the overall the course of the game is more or less going well so far for black. So they reached a fighting position and has an advantage on time. So we got another question. Hi, how is Russian media TV newspapers reporting this tournament in Russia? As GM Lagno is playing for Russia, is there a lot of excitement? Thanks for all your efforts commentating. I shall have a drink at my chess club tonight for you all.
Okay, well, thank you for your question. I'm not sure how it's they're reporting, because as I mentioned, I don't really watch TV and I don't read Russian newspapers, but usually it's followed. I know that in the leading sport channel there are every day's report on the championship, on the match, and in case Katerina wins, I'm sure there will be some kind of media attention brought to her victory. So I cannot really complain about current situation for chess in Russia. I think it's one of the best in the world for professional chess players.
Also, I've heard that daily we have a report on the Match TV.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
sport
about
channel.
this. Yeah, about this event, and I guess all the local media is also quite active, and the newspapers on the TV also. It exists, of course. So maybe we don't have like a separate channel just especially for chess. I mean, I guess it's not really easy at the present situation. Such a
They insist.
Yes,
they insist.
Now you will get it more and more. Yeah. Such a wonderful commentary. Question for both. Ju playing very fast.
Are not fun. You see, we touch the nickname of the question who is asking.
Vishe Anon Fun. Yeah. So. Okay. Okay. Ju playing very fast. Do you think she's still in her preparation? One more question. What's the best way to improve at 1500 FIDE level? Well, about her preparation, I'm completely sure she is not following anymore her home preparation. The game is far on their own, but just in general, it looks pretty nice so far for black. I mean, in terms that she has to win and she has to keep this tense position as long as possible. And the other question, not so easy for me to answer. Maybe you can add something.
To improve. Well, we touched this topic, I think, in previous broadcasts. That first of all, there are no miracles, right? You cannot really improve from a certain rating to a higher rating in one day. It will require consistent work on chess. And so what I recommend to my students that it should be done. Something should be done every day. You can solve chess problems daily, even for 10-15 minutes, but daily. You can read chess books, you can listen to grandmasters' commentaries and videos. There are so many of them nowadays. So, and preferably to have strong players that will guide you in the right direction, because even though there are so many different podcast, videocast, books and etc., there are still, the most important thing is the right direction. And I think only a strong chess player or a strong chess trainer, coach, can guide you. Otherwise it looks like an ocean. And getting back to this position, I don't like queen e4.
And you have some personal, let's say, maybe videos or programs, or maybe something for the as a chess trainer.
As a chess trainer, well, I mean, I do streams regularly now. Some of them are focusing on the openings or on the end games. I cannot really say that, you know, I have 20 or 50 videos one must watch to improve yet.
Okay.
Maybe one day it will come. Mostly I review my recent chess tournaments. Of course, I'm giving some tips when reviewing it, but I cannot really say that it's educational and instructional. Of course, I mean, you're welcome to go to my YouTube channel and to check out those videos, but for the moment it's mostly my games and comments, my comments to them.
Okay, thanks for your question. What is the purpose of queen e4? I mean, if black simply replies b6,
yes,
because knight b6 is not
just to connect the rooks.
Knight b6 is not possible, yeah. I
then
guess.
play bishop d2 again.
This is just bad for white, I think. Yeah? So
yes.
Then
I don't know
what is the purpose
to go just to make
d2?
a move.
Okay, if I just also make a move.
I don't know. I don't think that the queen belongs to a4, because on d1 at least we always had this idea connected with g5, and black needed to have an eye. Always to keep it in mind, right? And to consider this knight g5
I mean, so
moving.
for general play, the b6 is quite okay for black, so it's not some bad move. We can sometimes have this transfer knight to f7 later, or to e6, let's say, in case white plays c4. Then we have the idea knight b7, knight d8, bishop goes, knight e6, and we can activate the knight, let's say. I mean, in case if black needs it, of course. The other idea is now can be possible. Sometimes white will need to reckon also with s6 sometimes. So
well, how the game progresses, it doesn't seem to be the last day for us and for the players.
In general, this queen f4 looks a bit strange move to me, or maybe she has some specific
hopefully
idea,
but
which we can't see yet so far. Maybe queen will be transferred, but we already said that the transfers are bad ideas.
All the squares are taken on the fourth rank. Maybe after b6 she'll get back to d1. Okay, I
to c2 she play, but overall, of course, it's not. It seems to be a little bit. But at least she caught her by surprise, and Jew starts to think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, some surprises might be very pleasant ones, as we know.
Just let's be sure that the price for such a for such a surprise isn't that high.
Yes.
Isn't that high? Yeah. Okay. Or maybe she was also sort of defending against c4 at the same point, because maybe she was also.
I'm not sure it's a defend. Well, after b6, let's say bishop d2, c4 is still possible. No?
Yes, exactly. But maybe to some extent she was trying to defend. I don't know. I'm only guessing. Maybe my guess is completely wrong. It's just this move looks a bit strange. So, but obviously it's connected with some idea. So.
Yes, we'll see.
So Joe is now thinking. Another question we got. Question to chess queen. Right, you have to address like that. 4 games
to Her Majesty, right?
Yeah, sort of this. 4 games to decide Women World Championship title is not fair amount of numbers, while men have 12 games. Any thought on that?
Well, I already said that life is not fair, so complaining about the number of games, well, it's not the most important thing in life. And FIDE just released an announcement, a statement yesterday about the changes in the forthcoming Women's World Chess Championship title. And
what are the changes?
And it seems it will be similar to the men's one. So, in other words, after this tournament, the world champion will wait for a candidate, for the winner of the candidates tournament. In 2019, there's going to be a candidates tournament with top 8 women playing there, and the winner of this tournament facing the world champion from this tournament. And then we'll get to systems that is similar to men's system, with Grand Prix, also with candidates, with a World Cup instead of World Championship. Yeah, and then with a World Championship match on top of this pyramid. So there are gonna be more games.
Okay.
In a match. You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice one, yeah. A probability of opposite colored bishops again today. Probability is extremely high. We don't yet see how, but my prediction that it should end up in like that, because otherwise.
To make it like the main theme of the match.
Main theme, yeah.
And
theme
even
of
Carlsen and Caruana follow women's footsteps.
Exactly.
Because yesterday it was again opposite colored bishop position middle game, then end game, and I referred to this match to study the games of women's of the players here to apply it in London.
Exactly, yeah.
Very slow. Yes, quite an unpleasant position to play.
Well, bored from long streak of draws in Magnus Caruana match. Should chess rules be changed to increase number of resultative games? What are your suggestions?
I'm not bored at all, and I don't support these critics saying about boring draws or whatever, because you don't expect many decisive games in a match. And if we have like the final step of all this world championship cycle is a match, then we shall always expect a lot of draws. I mean, I don't like to see a world championship match as a final step. I think it gives too many privileges to the current world champion, and for example, women or world tournament would be much more interesting, with somebody needing to win some games in order to become a world champion. But that's a question to discuss, and if we discuss the current situation, if we have a world championship match, it's gonna be like this. I mean,
well, my opinion is the following: that first of all, of course, we can discuss any possible changes about the chess rules itself, or in maybe rules how these tournaments are organized, but hardly we will find some ideal rules or ideal way of organizing the tournament just to avoid draws, because anyway, draw is completely like essential part of the modern game of chess. I mean, just the rules of our chess game basically makes the game itself pretty drawish, and it doesn't mean that it should make any problem. and therefore I'm not suggesting the idea that let's say if the match goes only with the draws, we have immediately start thinking that okay, now we have to change the rules of chess, the rules of organizing competitions out of this. And just don't forget the ultimate question was to be or not to be. And chess-wise, now the ultimate question for any World Championship matches are expect or not to expect. So, and my suggestion just not to expect. Just not expect too much. Just okay, take them as they are, and don't push players for your certain expectations. So the draws can be, and actually they can be within a certain match strategy. So let's say I personally had no expectations at all, and I expressed already that my opinion. So for me, the way they're playing chess is not problematic at all. So when you're referring that we all bored, so at least that you seeing now on the screen two players who are not bored. So it's not all we bored. So maybe you, your friends, your your family, your competitors, maybe the whole country is screaming to ban that match. But at least you see now exactly two players who are not bored. So okay, but Bishop D2 played.
Yes.
And
what maybe now? The next move is going to be Queen D1.
Oh, why?
Well,
next move can be.
But
next
I mean,
move can
if
be
Black
any.
plays, I don't know, Rook C8.
Any sort of pass can be. Rook C8, maybe C4 she can play. Then E4, okay, E4, E4. I don't know. It would be good. Maybe not.
H4. Does she want to play H4? I doubt it.
No,
right?
I doubt that H4 is here. No. Position is shaky for White to play H4. Well, the problem for White is hard to play actively because the Black center is quite flexible and strong.
So
and
they need somehow to wait.
Yeah, and we don't have some stable pieces. Let's say this knight on d5 is not stable. Even Queen d7, Queen f7. Let's say, and then what? If White plays c4, then e4. So it's easy to say to White that basically how do you want to play active since you have so many problems to solve. Yeah. Well, maybe she would just want to, I don't know, if Queen d7, maybe to play some Rook b1. I don't know.
Rook b1.
No, I want to defend against Queen f7, because Queen f7 just, and basically they game over, c4, e4.
What about Knight h4?
Knight h4, I don't know, I wasn't considering that move at all.
Because then Queen f7, Knight takes g6, Knight f4. And game will be over.
Well, maybe it's also possible to play like this for White.
At least to get the use of the queen on a4.
I agree. Maybe it's okay.
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, you cannot take and then take on b5 because of knight c7 at least, right? So just to make sure that.
Yeah, knight h4 maybe. It's an interesting idea.
At least to show some active idea for White, because otherwise it seems as she needs to wait for Black's moves and then react accordingly.
Yeah, knight h4 looks like maybe a nice way for White to defend.
Because Queen d7 looks tempting, at least.
Queen f7, yeah, like one of the first ideas.
Queen f7 and to
c4 also for me looks tempting here, but I don't know if she will play it or not.
It's something that requires some courage. Yesterday, for example, I mean.
But at her match situation to play something like this, maybe it's more or less okay, yeah? Because the queen, instead of standing on e2, now stands on f1.
Yes, what can you do? Rook a to d1, etc.
Occupies a bit strange place.
Knight b4 doesn't work. Was the idea? No, it doesn't. No, well, Rook a to d1 I think is better to start with. What about also knight d4? You will take on d5. Yes. Not yet.
I don't know, maybe we can start to exchange these pieces. Just try to organize some attack here. Then if knight h4, probably take. And then f4.
I don't know, I'm just looking.
What we can take on f4, yeah?
Maybe. Yeah, and then queen b4, start to ask questions to the d6 pawn.
Yeah, and maybe b4 will help white.
Yes, it looks
in some sense
a bit helping. So we'll see. We'll see how Drew. She's looking at the clock, so you know, with so much worry in her eyes, but she still has 1 hour, so she's somehow seems to be worried about the time too much. Because Katerina, who has 23 minutes, absolutely calm, okay, 23 minutes, it's like, probably it's Grishuk influence. So.
Whole life ahead. What about some f6 here? I don't know if it exists.
Well, it exists, but at least it... well, if I take... Let's
take where?
I don't know, that's a good question. Too many takes.
No,
possible.
I just want to bring back maybe my.
No, because I was thinking about knight takes b6.
Ah, knight b6. Okay,
yeah.
if I keep here.
Knight takes a8.
Knight takes a8.
Bishop b3.
b3.
And the game is over.
But here you can take maybe queen f5, yeah. Then I simply withdraw my bishop, and I don't know if it's a good way to keep the
I'll
situation.
take the pawn on a6.
And you will take the pawn, yeah.
At least I have. What did I win? 2 pawns? Something already, which can help a bit.
Yeah, I don't know what is here. Yeah, but I can of course take like this if she's afraid to play.
And a takes b5. Yeah, unfortunately the square. Well, queen d1. Let's get back. Queen d1. I want to give check on g5. Queen d1 was the idea. Knight g5. I still have this. Idea in my mind. Okay, I see. White moved the queen on a4, but sometimes.
Yeah, this is maybe not so not so clear.
Yeah, with this position is.
Because anyway, the bishop cannot
doesn't look that worrying. No, a6. I don't think it's a way to proceed for black. I don't know what is the way. That's a question to June for the moment. I don't know if white has like any ideas. Can black make a few more waiting moves, small waiting moves, in order to get closer to time trouble? Like I don't know, rook e8, something small.
Okay, rook c8, let's say.
Rook c8.
What about that pass?
Yes.
Maybe preparing c4. If white plays c4, I don't know. Maybe e4. No,
maybe. Well, rook a to d1 looks quite logical, no?
Rook a to d1. But now the bishop is
wait,
is not
what about knight takes b6 here? After rook c8.
C8? Ah, yes. Okay.
I mean, at least we should consider it. I'm not sure it works, but because bishop a2 again, knight takes c8, bishop b3, the same story, right?
Because now queen f5, a takes b6.
Yes, yes. So maybe it doesn't work. So okay, let's rook c8.
But rook c8 is a bit strange move, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's connected with the idea to play c4.
Yes, but in general, yeah, I think it's not so easy to make it so.
Well, you need to make some moves. You need to move some pieces. Rook c8, rook e8.
Rook c8 maybe prepares some queen e8,
found.
queen f7, sort of these ideas, but still. Since queen moves, but has this knight h4 idea to simplify.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what awaits us.
Yes, so suddenly white will be in general happy to simplify a bit, yeah. Then of course this knight on f5 is temporary.
Should have been their intention from the first move on.
No, okay, the intention from move on.
I mean,
one is hard to say. The intention was just to play chess, probably. So.
Well, yes, but I don't know, opting for such a complicated position with all, well, now it's 7 pawns on the board, but almost 8 pawns on the board, and in the current match situation, I don't know. It's very brave, I must say.
Why not placing the rooks on the g5 fullback in order to create the kingside attack?
Well,
It's maybe possible, just a little bit not so easy to achieve it, I guess. Too many moves required to get so, yeah, like rook g8, bishop f8, rook b8, rook b7, rook f2, g7, basically, like 5 moves to see the only one reply at g3. Then you need another 15 moves to attack the g3 pawn. So overall, a bit too much, yeah. So too many efforts to get the little impact. So no, in general, black has to play through the center, I guess, and of course trying to use this position of the white's knight on d5 to get some active play. But queen d7 looks very logical, and knight h4 looks
like a
really like, okay, to me it looks like almost the only move white. Otherwise queen f7, I don't see how white will then play. So, and this actually kind of course, if white exchanges this pair of knights and e4 will not be with tempest, then it's a big relief for white here. Say, I don't know, like this, this.
Knight f4.
Here knight f4 also, yeah. So we can't play this as well. But even c4 maybe was also possible. Because without this pair of knights, it's easier for white to play, so.
To hold and stabilize. Yeah, 2 hours of play.
Yes, after all, queen f4 is maybe not so bad, yeah? So
well, I don't know. It
you
still doesn't feel like it belongs there, because I liked it on d1 very much, because we always had this idea, yes, knight g5, and I don't know where it's heading to from a4. Okay, no.
It's heading to c4, attacking the knight, and heading to knight h4.
It can be trapped after knight bishop b3 in some lines, so I don't really like
Life
it.
is hard, and it can be
yes.
trapped.
And unfair, you know.
It's unfair, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, as usual, we have a question for our daily quiz. It's probably the last quiz of the whole event, but anyway, and the questions are getting more and more long to read.
Longer
okay,
and longer, yes.
Yes, let's go. Akiba Rubinstein deserved to play the World Championship match, but life had other ideas. David Bronstein could win the title, but lost the ultimate game in the match. Leonid Stein won 3 USSR chess championships, but he would never play in the candidate matches due to qualification rules. Some researchers refer to all above mentioned facts to prove that Mikhail Botvinnik actually approved of a certain decision. What decision was it? And send your answers to email quiz@gmail.com. And in 2 hours, as usual, we will know today's winner. This is a question from Alexander Martinov. And that's it for the moment. So we will have a short break now, and we will resume our live commentary shortly.
Despite its severe weather, Khanty-Mansiysk Autonomous Okrug Yugra is one of the hottest chess spots in the world. Yugra's capital, Khanty-Mansiysk, hosted more than 15 official chess events of the highest level since 2005. The first event was FIDE World Cup. Khanty-Mansiysk holds a record of organizing 4 such knockouts in 2005, 7, 9 and 11. In 2010, a truly global chess tournament, 39th Chess Olympiad, was held in Khanty-Mansiysk, and it gave another impetus to the development of chess in the region. Famous Olympийская Hotel was built to accommodate the participants of that forum, and it successfully functioned until modern day. In the same year, 2010, Khanty-Mansiysk celebrated the opening of ЮГРА Chess Academy. This modern building is equipped with classes where children learn to play chess and is ideal for holding big international events. In 2013, its walls saw World Rapid and Blitz Championships. In 2014, Candidates Tournament. In 2015, the final leg of FIDE Grand Prix Series. In 2017, World Team Championships. Khanty-Mansiysk is a home to many events among women. In 2014, World Rapid and Blitz titles were decided here. In 2012, the Classical Crown. Children chess is the big theme in the region too. ЮГРА was one of the first regions in Russia to successfully implement Chess in Schools program. Khanty-Mansiysk organized World Junior Championships under 20 in 2015 and under 18, 16 and 14 in 2016. One shouldn't limit ЮГРА's chess life to its capital. International tournament of Anatoly Karpov is held in the town of Poikovsky since 2000. Every chess professional and every chess fan knows ЮГРА. This region held almost every possible big chess event for professionals and amateurs, men and women, children and adults. In 2020, Khanty-Mansiysk will once again host the World Chess Olympiad, welcoming more than 150 teams from all over the globe to feel the warm heart of this snowy region.
and gentlemen, we continue our live transmission from Khanty-Mansiysk, and some important things, I guess, happened already in the game, so they may be not really obvious ones. After this, at this moment, after bishop d2, the current world champion, she was thinking really for a long time and came up with the move rook g8. And the first impression that it seems that it's connected with some play on the king side, maybe
ideas how
maybe to use
to
use the position of the rook, but actually it connected with the other beautiful idea that after rook d1 she plays queen d7, and now this knight h4 move, which was we thought it's the main idea for white in general, can be met with c4. Okay, now we cannot take the pawn because the knight is hanging on h4, and if we are taking knight g6, then bishop d5 comes. And the rook is not hanging on f8 with check. So she just removed the rook from the hanging position on f8. Bravo! It's very deep idea, and suddenly now white is in trouble here, and she's playing this move.
Yeah, it's losing.
It's maybe not losing, but maybe d takes c4 here, no?
Bishop b7.
Bishop b7 and knight h5 can go.
Bishop f6. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm just off.
Bishop g2 even not required. Yeah? If knight h4, then bishop f6, and looks like white's losing. Yeah, c5, then rook c4 maybe.
Rook g4.
Rook g4. I mean, yeah,
c6.
But looks very tough for white. Yeah, even knight c6 should be very bad for white. Yeah?
Yes.
Then taking everything, and the attack is coming.
Oh no! Oh.
Okay.
Oh, what a relief! I don't know. I'm not sure if it's not winning or, but c4 was winning definitely. I mean,
c4 wins, yeah, but she played it so quickly, yeah.
I mean, we thought the idea is so deep that
yeah,
we were just, we were speechless because it's really, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, so we thought that she wanted to play queen d7, she understood that knight h4 is the main idea for white, and knight g6 rook is hanging. She removed the rook.
Now I need a few more minutes, okay, guys, bye, I will
like
go.
Queen d7, white plays knight h4, and c4 wins, and yeah, instead of winning, the game goes on. Okay, but the game goes on.
Goes on, yeah. I need some time to to get back to my analyzing mode. Let's see. Maybe white can finish the game now.
Already?
Yeah, I'm already ready. ready already. Whew, but at least it's a relief. I mean, maybe bishop h8 is winning also, but c4.
No,
look.
Of course it's not winning, but I mean it's.
Okay.
It's not yet a question, I guess, that someone is winning or not. We winning here. She just prepared queen f7 in that fashion, I guess.
Knight takes g6, so it's not hanging there.
Okay.
And queen h4. I don't like the queen on a4 at all. Unfortunately, queen e7 is not going. I wanted to, after rook g8, I wanted to propose knight e7. Bishop a2, and it's over. No, I need some time to but then.
But that's the queen on h4 is a bit stupid, no?
Well, what can you do on a4? It also looks
also awkward, yeah.
Yeah, but here after rook g4, at least knight f6, right? That was your idea.
Queen h6 might just can be even simpler way to go.
Some time to get back to you.
No, but now of course the fight goes on. I mean, so black may think about some queen f7, maybe white can probably play c4, and opposite colors bishop can appear sometimes. Taking d5, taking on d5. That's our favorite opposite colors. So it's pretty. It's already here. So.
So the idea was not connected.
Not connected at all. Yeah, we were a bit running ahead of the
train.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just playable. Yeah, see, so why this can.
Maybe something else can be proposed.
Yeah, so black was so close, yeah, to his chance.
Not for the first time in this match, I must say.
Too many missed chances for the current world champion. Yeah?
I mean, sometimes if you even
yesterday,
have one chance.
Yesterday she was winning in the first game. Also, she missed so lot and chances, that's for sure.
Yesterday she was winning in 2 moves. I mean.
Yeah, and today also c4, and suddenly white is in the deep trouble immediately.
I mean, maybe white is still in a very unpleasant situation.
No, I don't think so. If white exchanges, queen goes to h4, c4, I think it shouldn't be that bad for white.
And maybe it's not too late to get back to f3. Okay,
With the
no,
knight?
just kidding. Of course, white needs to take.
No, in general, I think it's a nice idea for white to simplify a bit. So, because this anyways, this queen on f4 stands completely useless. If white plays queen h4, c4, then basically he solves at least half of the problem. Well, I mean, c4 to play, then black can think about to capture the pawn on b5, maybe, especially with the queen on d7. But anyway, it certainly will give white some play on the light squares.
I mean,
and
I
around
don't
the
like the rook on d1, because on a1 at least it was protecting the bishop on a2. And the d1 square was always open for the queen.
And now still c4 is a threat, yeah? Still. So white needs,
Possibly,
so
yeah.
white can't pass. I mean, still c4 almost wins. Knight g6, bishop d5, and if knight h8, then rook takes g2, and it should be my mate. So.
Probably, she just needs to take and retreat her bishop to c2.
Where?
To c2. Knight takes g6, rook takes g6, queen c2.
Queen c2, you think it's better to play?
Well, I don't know, on h4 it's kind of...
Okay,
well,
but
protecting the bishop on a2.
I would like to put my queen here. I think that anyway it's sort of helping also pressing black. Some queen e7 are just pressing h6, because queen on c2 is not doing so much job, to my understanding at least.
But it's not that difficult to break through without a knight, right? Rook, for example, a to g8, I'll play g3. And with the queen on c2, after f4, there are some ideas connected with d4, and then bishop f1. Well, not here, not now, but maybe one day.
Well, yes.
But still, I mean, the situation, of course, is very dangerous for white, because she is 14 minutes for 21 move.
Okay, but chess-wise, I don't see some big danger yet for white.
Okay,
Knight g6, at least.
No c4 anymore, which are already quite a relief. And now, yeah, the queen, she should decide where to go with to h4. Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, like this.
Okay,
and queen b5 is not possible. Maybe time to be greedy, no? Knight f4?
Knight c7?
No, knight f7, queen c6, I guess. It's not yet greedy, but knight f4 I can simply take on a2.
Knight g6?
King takes
Queen
g6.
h6?
King f7?
Well, some c4.
C4? Yeah, c4. And at least my bishop can be trapped here. Yeah?
It's not the worst scenario. What about queen e7 check also? Here.
Queen e7?
Yeah, I don't know why and what for, but maybe here.
Protecting?
Protecting, yes. Protecting the opponent, right? Helping the opponent to... And
Okay, still you can attack, okay, but if you want to take my rook, maybe it's better to take
maybe.
it immediately. Knight e7, I just don't know, bishop f6 is also possible. Maybe from that side you can go.
It's possible after knight f4 as well.
To go
Queen
where?
h3.
Bishop f6, okay, but then you can simply go
Queen
somewhere.
h3.
And then we can take, and then this pawn can be protected maybe. Yeah, I don't know, lots of... No, but bishop f6, queen h5, then rook g5 is happening. So I don't know, maybe this move is still possible.
Queen h3.
Queen h3, then we take on a2.
Yes, I take.
Queen f5, it
Queen
takes
f5, you take the knight, yes.
like this.
Okay, check. Okay,
C4.
let me give a check once more. Queen h7.
Okay, thank you. I go king e6.
You're welcome.
I like to place my king here. I think it's only strengthening my the position. No? Then some rook h8 is coming. But anyway, in some moment probably you will need to go c4 to cut this.
Well, here queen d7. No, if I want to play c4, it's better not to give a check on h7.
Okay, you can play here. No problem. Still, maybe I can go back.
Well, still,
because the rook h8 is coming.
The position when I can take.
Okay, take. No, but if you take, you may lose because f4 and bishop b3 come. No, it's an open question. Maybe black can take the pawn. I don't know. Such a healthy pawn, yeah. Of course, it's a complicated decision to take such a pawn, but if I'm not missing something, then it's.
It feels there is something.
Should be something, yes, for it. What can be here for white? Okay, but apart from knight jumps, what else? I mean, f4, but f4 I'm not sure. I'm not so convinced that f4 is such a huge.
No, I was trying to make bishop takes h6 work, but somehow don't see how.
Ah, it can be like this, maybe.
Yeah, and then check on knight c7, but queen d7, and I didn't say anything. Ah, then I take on d7, take on c8. Maybe.
Like this. Queen d7. And you can simply take a knight e8. Yeah? Looks fine, yeah? Bishop h6. That's a move, yeah?
Well, there is no way back, I suppose. We again in no way back situation. Yes, like in every single
forced.
game we have.
This seems also to be forced. And I don't have any tempo moves. Yeah, everything looks pretty forced. Yeah, queen d7, then takes on 8, and it's more or less okay for white. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
we should have a look at rook a to g8, I suppose, as the main alternative. g3, and then somewhere queen f7, something like this, for example. We discussed, right, briefly this. We touched this line.
Yeah, okay, but by c4, it's not that easy for black to find some active move. Okay, maybe some f4. Let's see in this line.
Rook g4, something.
Yeah, like this.
Also quite a forced line.
It is.
Ah, rook g4, and the pawn on h6 is hanging always. So
c4 and maybe some f4.
Yeah. You know, d4 should be considered always. Rook g4, right?
Yeah, but after f4, this queen is in danger, yeah?
What about something to e7? It doesn't work, right? Because queen then take on d5, knight, then rook g4. Okay, this is also quite a forced line, yeah.
Okay, the only question how black will need to start. Maybe it's slightly simpler to start with that move. Or then queen. No, queen 7 is not possible. So maybe first we attack the knight. Also, just in case to protect the rook. If c4, let's say we're attacking the pawn. I don't know how she wants to defend like king h1, but king 1 still f4. So basically, whatever move you do, I want to go f4 next move.
That's why I didn't like the queen on h4 too much, but maybe, I mean, I'm just panicking.
No, we should not panic, of course. No panic.
No panic allowed.
No panic allowed. And
but
rook g4 is a bit annoying. Yeah, it's not so simple here for white.
Not so simple at all. Quite unfortunate to end up in such a position after 20 moves with white. That's what usually June opponents have been doing during this tournament.
So far, yeah?
Yeah, it reminds me of my game. Well, okay, I didn't have the same way. I just blundered a pawn and then wasn't able to find the right way to save the game, which was still possible, but here, yeah, I don't know what is she planning to do.
Okay, let's hope for queen b5, yeah?
Well, I
Queen
doubt
b5,
it.
bishop h6, and life is good, yeah?
Yeah, well, queen b5. You don't usually look at this direction when you just played rook g8, bishop h8, rook g6. I mean, your idea
Normally, yes.
somehow connected. If your idea was connecting the rooks, why not to continue
Okay, but
your
then,
plan?
then why is she thinking? Okay, play queen f7, rook
maybe
g8, f4.
choosing between queen f7 first and then rook g8. It's always this move orders are quite tricky.
Quite tricky.
You never
okay.
know what is better.
Yeah. Rook g8 turned out anyway to be quite a good idea. Of course, with rook g8, maybe white shouldn't play knight h4, of course, at all, even due to the tactical reason, but in the actual game, still, this exchange happened. And
So rook g8, yeah, I liked queen d1 idea, because with the rook on g8, somehow the queen looks very, you know, stuffed there, with all the pieces on the g file. But rook a to d1 was played almost instantly.
yeah, showing some basic ideas that I have to connect my rooks like this, yeah?
Well, yeah, sometimes. Maybe there is something else that we don't see. Hopefully there is something that we don't see.
That's for sure, yeah. So, whatever time to play, yeah?
Okay, let's have a look at this line once again. Rook a to g8, g3, queen f7, c4, f4, right? Or
Yeah.
d4.
d4?
Yeah.
Thanks, if I'll grab the pawn.
Okay.
I don't know if it's good, but it's my first impulse to take.
No, there
Bishop.
wasn't bishop
You have to
b1.
take, probably?
I don't know, bishop b1. Probably I don't need
No,
to
bishop
take
b1,
it.
I take on c4 maybe, no?
Ah, you'll just simply take. Okay, then I'll take on him. On a5 first.
But here, maybe you have knight e7, yeah?
Yeah, I do, but I
And
thought
this way you can try to go this way, and this
so
way,
many
and this
pawns.
way.
Yes.
And you can...
Again, too beautiful
Yeah.
to be true, but
okay, but if you want to go d4, maybe first to take on a5. I just think that maybe rook g4 here.
yeah, I'm afraid of some
But then
intermediate
queen
moves.
queen e7, yeah. Okay, so we go d4. Because now anyway, this rook g4, we have some chances. I don't know, by the way, which?
b1.
Bishop b1, king g7. I'm still referring to some chances, but because okay, if you take, then bishop b1, it's sort of maybe playable now, yeah? Since bishop b5, you take, knight e7, wins the exchange. But let's say if after d4, rook g4, what to do here? Bishop b1 is our idea, king g7.
Yeah, if queen h3, rook g3 is coming.
What to do? That looks... Okay, white can go this
Bishop
way.
d5.
Bishop d5, queen g6.
Ah, yeah, maybe that's not that bad, yeah.
And position is becoming complicated.
It's been already like this for a long time, unfortunately.
No, actually it's maybe good for
Maybe
white,
it's not bad, yeah. Maybe that's
because
the
now
idea.
everything is is placed, yeah? And
Because I don't see anything else. I mean, d4 should be played, I suppose. Otherwise, I mean, the queen on h4 is forever there.
forever young.
Okay, so we're getting some help.
Yeah, of course, c4 would have been much better, definitely, yeah. Yeah, that's no
Still,
doubt.
Yes, still. It's already history. Now just rechecking lines with closed eyes. Doesn't happen often in a women's chess. to see a player closing her eyes.
And
Rechecking.
and rechecking,
Or
yeah.
looking at the ceiling.
And still rechecking,
And
yeah.
rechecking, yeah.
Yeah, like this, suddenly black is not winning.
Yet.
Since this d4 idea seems to be good for white. It is not good, but some nice saving ideas. So
Okay, and if we start with rook g4?
where?
Here. Oh, I keep forgetting about this queen h6, that's impossible. How many times has you... I've already asked about this rook g4. I keep wondering, why do we make this strange move f4 first? Opening up the b1 h7 diagonal, why not to attack the queen immediately?
But actually, it can be that, let's say we play this move, and after g3, maybe we can think about f4 immediately.
Maybe, well, yeah, that's already...
Because now if white plays c4...
Very... why? I think as soon as I see the pawn on f4, I should play d4. That's my idea. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but that's the impression I get.
Okay.
Maybe with the queen on this rook g4, yeah, rook g4.
Yes.
But then queen h5. Rook g5. Yeah.
No, but here you can go check first, yeah?
Ah, check, yeah, forget about check.
And this
Forget
is
about everything.
another way to finish the game, yeah?
Yes. Dancing queen.
No doubt.
Emoji. Emoji. Okay, well, at least the time...
Becomes more reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad as it looked a few moves before. Yeah. And hopefully the position... I mean, white has some counter chances.
Yeah, sure, and c4 is also maybe too much, but yeah, hard to say.
And as soon as, yeah, this wide diagonal weakens, white should try to use this fact. Otherwise, I mean, the queen on h4 can be stuck there forever or can be lost there. And yeah, what's good that most of the moves now will be quite forced for white. So like 5-6 moves
white is on the force mode, yeah.
Yeah, will be done, and one and only moves mode. Sometimes it makes our life easier, although the situation can be quite tricky, but at least if you're in such situation where you have just one not legal but reasonable move, well, you just make it and then and just pray, right? As we said,
also
for the
today
best.
we saw a typical case in the chess game when the black player solved brilliantly a very hard, let's say, practical problem, almost an exercise, and she found rook g8, a move which is anyway preparing the play on the g file, but most importantly prepared the basic move queen d7, and after rook d1, queen d7 at h4, in a much more simpler situation, she didn't play c4. I mean, so it quite often happens that, let's say, you can find a very deep idea and then you suddenly fail to play a very obvious idea. So,
well, now the players are blitzing out the moves.
yeah, that's everything more or less what we have expected. I guess c4 white should play. Not
Don't
so
see
many
any other ideas protecting
otherwise
this knight, and it's strange to see Katerina thinking.
So maybe
Maybe to
she's
checking a bit again.
checking some other moves, but obviously this. Maybe after c4, okay, but if black is not going f4, then white's next move can be f4, so if black are not making any waiting move, let's say, then white can play f4. And then, of course, still black has some ideas like this, like this.
Rook e6.
Yes,
we never
but
give
this,
up. Rook
yeah,
g3.
but in this.
no, then I take on h6, maybe some chance.
Yeah, but overall, I'm not so. I don't know what goes on here. Yeah.
Me neither.
Because this knight on b7 looks so awkward, yeah? Okay, maybe black can play some bishop f6, but anyway, this king h1, why can play, since f takes g3, we can take the pawn.
I mean, it doesn't look so hopeless, right?
Immediately, this rook
Yes,
also deserves some attention, since f takes g3 is not a threat, so... Okay, so maybe bishop e5 then. Then bishop e5, and then that's why it's smarter first to place the rook and then to go king h1, yeah, because... Okay, but anyway, with knight on b7, it's always some hopes that if position becomes more open, then the knight on b7 is out of place, so... White can try to use it. So that's why normally speaking, black would like to play here f4 to start this rook g4 ideas. And...
Why is she thinking?
Maybe now she realized what she is...
f4 is coming.
But maybe... so if f4, take on f5... Yeah, it looks pretty forced. Take it since rook g4, then queen e7 is possible, yeah?
I keep asking, I keep getting back to this rook g4 move, which is impossible. Keep thinking about it. And what if? What if rook g4?
And what? Why are you thinking about it? It's a very interesting topic.
Yes, I think it's the only move. And again, you better make this only moves fast and then hope for the best. Maybe we don't see something. Or
Maybe.
she doesn't see something.
Well, probably she realizes that f4 is coming and the queen e7 other moves are not possible, but fortunately her d4 is the move, and otherwise, of course, f4 looks pretty...
Sad.
Pretty sad for white, yeah, exactly, so... Taking on f5 and d4, yes, and seemingly life goes on.
Okay, come on, make your move. Fast.
Life goes on, yeah.
Which is already a good thing for white in this situation. To continue kicking.
As far as this intuitive and maybe bad queen h4 turned out to be a playable option, yeah? Because if white... Playable? I mean, if white survives... I mean, if not f4, then okay, the next move I play f4 myself probably, and I can survive. Or f3 I can play, I mean, I have different moves, I mean, with or some other move, but okay, if I'm giving the move, I'm sure that I can find some way to make a useful move, let's say, so...
Come on.
So basically f4 looks like a punishment from black, just to cut the queen and to stop f4, and then this very important idea, take on f5 takes and d4, and okay, maybe we're missing something there. And
certainly
that's also
we're missing something, but
certainly, yeah, because we tend to miss everything, but
because we because of the fact that we are not playing and commenting it.
Coffee machine, please. C4 she played, okay.
Now everybody has already been warned about my complaint, and nobody's using it. It's switched off till the end of the championship.
Yeah.
Okay, C4. Okay. Okay, girls.
C4 played, yes. And Jew?
Jew.
What is Jew?
Touch the rook.
Touch the rook. No, that's bad, no.
Okay, 4 I think will follow. Sooner or later we will see this move on the board. Okay.
Well, theoretically speaking, that maybe even f4, d4 immediately still possible.
Yes.
Maybe white is not in a hurry just immediately to take, maybe just to keep it.
Because after rook g4 there's always queen e7, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's so forced. Because still, I mean, if rook g4, we can follow the same idea with bishop b1, king g7, queen e7.
And here, if black just takes...
But here maybe knight c4 is an option.
And
Here the knight c4 is an option.
No, this knight on a5, if it can be taken, I think.
Yeah, knight c4 comes and it's maybe not so pleasant. Yeah?
If bishop a5 is possible, why not? I'm not sure
because
if
the
it is
knight on
possible.
a5 is completely absent. So
No, I'm just afraid. I'm just afraid that if we take right now, bishop takes a5, then bishop takes d5 will come, and we will not be in time to play.
Like this?
Or there is
if I just take.
nothing scary, right? After.
Yeah,
Okay.
rook g4, queen h3 maybe.
Yeah, and maybe it's
Not such a big deal for,
yeah,
for okay, black maybe have some chances, but
perfectly fine.
and that's why yes, maybe smarter first to take.
And if it's possible, then I think it's
Go like this. That's a key move, huh? And e4 here, no? Don't. Is it possible?
rook takes e4.
Rook takes e4.
And then rook g4, maybe rook takes e6. Might be the move.
But actually, I was thinking just to purely take on
well,
d4 at some
rook
moment.
f4, I mean,
Just
then
to
a chaos.
no, first to take and take, just to
but then
activate,
take
just to activate.
bishop b1, no, then I'll be happy.
Just
As
to
long as
activate.
my queen is not lost.
You will take where? On d4, you mean?
I don't know. Maybe I will start with bishop b1. You mean the f2 pawn will be hanging. Yes, and I'll take on d4 and play bishop b1.
Yeah, okay, it's probably more or less
It's already,
playable.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very dangerous to open the e file. I agree.
I'm not sure that Juventud sees this idea with queen. Oh no, she did play something that we didn't expect at all.
Bishop f6 she played, yeah?
Because the pawn is already on c4 because I thought it's still on c3. Interesting.
So just to exchange the bishop, yeah? Okay. And let's say
I
we
take and
change.
play 4. I mean,
Yeah, let's say we
idea.
take. I don't know how she'll take with the rook.
With the rook, I think.
Go f4, let's say. What is the move?
I mean, doesn't look that bad for white.
It looks good for white, I think.
Well, I'm very afraid in my evaluations because today we have seen many already ups and downs, mostly downs.
Okay, maybe not like good in the sense that white is completely fine, but looks.
Well, I mean,
It's
the game
quite
is not
good.
over.
The game is for sure not
The
over.
pawns are, the number of pawns and the number of pieces are equal, and we're still fighting.
The fighting? No, this is absolutely playable, I guess.
Well, that's the move we're supposed to make, I believe.
No, for the most natural, of course, yeah. F3 is maybe also, but it's basically
know.
you
Scary
don't
bit.
want. Yeah, you don't want to make such move, yeah. Well, maybe if anyways, if f4 allows it bishop f5 and d4, maybe in that terms she decided to play this, but I'm sure that she simply missed something else and decided to play that way. Because normally, of course, it would require much more time at least to decide to go f4 or not, so...
Yeah, 4, of course. Okay. Peculiar.
yes, and anyway,
and
white has more or
peculiar.
less normal time now, so she has 10 minutes for 15 moves. I mean,
Well,
so.
it's not that bad. I mean, the position.
And most importantly, that the position is still more seems to be more or less playable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm. Yeah, but it's of course surprisingly to see so many. I mean, it's not surprising to see, of course, so many mistakes at the end of this chess marathon, but still quite a few.
Yeah.
blunders.
So many huge chances for her, and almost none of them she catch, yeah? So
In a single game. Yeah, she cannot blame Katerina for not giving her a chance. I mean,
yeah.
Katerina was trying her best. Only I think in the second game.
If we continue chess-wise, the score can be already 3-1 to her favor, basically,
yeah.
and the match is safely over. So, especially I'm meaning that okay, imagine even the first game is drawn after shaky fight. Second game normally she would be drawn after normal fight. Third game she was clearly winning at one moment, and today C4 would give her almost a decisive advantage right away. So
she wouldn't have played the same opening though. If she
I mean, of course, I mean it's very, very theoretical stuff. I mean, if this, but I mean in general she can't complain about the positions she had, but the scoring wise, it's
somehow it seems that it doesn't mean to be.
Yeah, it's kind of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I observe such stuff, I mean, I've been playing chess for a long time, and sometimes these things just happen, you know, you lose such positions that you cannot explain how it's theoretically possible, and I became fatalist already, because it's...
A fatalist?
Yes, because it's easier. I mean, it's
just
easier to leave. Okay, saying, okay, I think I did my best, I did what I had to, but still, if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. It was not up to me to decide who needs to, because otherwise I'm not able to explain how it's possible, you know, not to win a position with 6 connected pawns or something.
Just 6.
Or 5, I don't know, there are many
okay.
pawns in the game I'm talking about. Or to lose rook endgame 1 against 1 or something. I mean, something really, I mean, some strange things happen. Okay.
But black may be already bad here, no? Not yet?
I don't know. I mean,
what is the fatalist inside
you
of
see,
you?
I think that the evaluation doesn't mean a lot.
Doesn't mean a lot. Oh,
I mean, in this game we've already seen...
Okay, but maybe black should avoid, of course, reacting. Maybe rook g6, yeah, should play it. And with some ideas that if takes e5, even d5 maybe to go
or
to...
f4, yeah.
Or f4, maybe to close this, yeah?
What I want to say, the evaluation of the current position doesn't matter a lot. We've seen already winning continuations for black, losing continuations for black, but I mean, if this game is meant to finish, but I mean, if this match is meant to finish today...
But I can suggest one more fatal way, and maybe rook f4, no? Can be fatal,
Fatal
no?
or suicidal?
I don't know.
What is the difference, right? Right?
Is it possible like this?
I don't know, maybe.
And some counter strike comes, yeah?
Never late. Never give up. I remember this poster
here, even maybe this
with a crane and
should be
frog
this way, yeah?
inside its mouth. There's a crane and a frog, and so the frog is about to be swallowed, but it kind of suffocates the crane, and it's written "Never give up."
Never give up. Yeah.
So
never give up.
Never give up.
That's a slogan.
Okay, but now it's time for white to make a move anyway. What about rook queen f1? But then h5, h4, right?
Well, it's hard to say what's gonna be here.
Maybe rook f1 is like not
no, but
actually.
Obviously to bring back this queen, maybe it's an asset. Yeah.
But I mean rook f1 and then queen g2.
Well, there is still this h5,
yeah, h5, h4.
h5, okay, I will ignore, take all these pawns, h3, h3, and
open up the h file, and as we were taught to check and mate, right?
Yeah.
So rook f1.
Rook f1. So
I can understand it.
So you can more easily guess. But now, of course, there's presence of the queen on h3 slightly.
It's not that bad. It's because
bad.
it's looking at the h6, and I want to play rook d2 e1, and queen g2 at some point. And no, I love. Now it's already like a dream come true for white. Now because pawn structure already somehow stabilized. I mean, there are only a bishop, well, a knight. The knight is on a5. Okay, bye knight. It's out of play.
Knight, yeah?
No, definitely it's out of play, and it will not get back to the game.
Let's say some queen g7 here. What to do?
What to do? We will find something. We will find the answer for you.
Please tell me. Because some other annoying ideas can be maybe some e4, queen b2. Sometimes I can also invade from that side using the absence of the queen.
Invasion, yeah. E4.
But okay, first I'm pretty, pretty direct with rook g3.
What about king g2?
King g2?
Blocking my poor queen there.
Maybe, but I have also bishop c8, bishop b7 transfer.
Transfer again.
And then I
okay,
guess
I don't like king g2 at all.
Yeah, but let's say like this.
I just don't know what to propose yet. I was so happy about my position a second ago, and now I need to.
No, but
solve.
I'm very unhappy about this queen on the queen.
Okay,
on
let's try to do
and
something with the queen. No, queen.
I was suggesting to bail out with queen f1, maybe at least to put the queen in some normal place.
Maybe
this
okay, maybe
like,
queen g2.
I don't like this move. I don't know.
Maybe queen g2 after queen g7. It's not like fatal yet.
But still, bishop b7, bishop
don't
d7.
want to take on g3?
But first I can activate my bishop with tempo, and then I can take on g3. Why not? Well, I mean, at least it looks quite dangerous for white. I don't know, maybe white can still defend, but this bishop on b7 with combination rook g3 is coming looks, of course, very dangerous.
So it's not over yet.
No, but why still not
queen
queen f1 here? Why not?
Well, because the rook is already on f1.
No, maybe it has some chess explanation. But h5 is not a threat. I don't see the threat of h5. Okay, let's say h5, but I don't see it brings any huge threat. Okay, let's say I take.
King h1.
King h1.
What does she want to do after
bishop c8? I don't know. She's playing chess, so after all, and
bishop c8 is played.
Bishop c8 played.
Okay, now I don't like this position.
No, but queen, no, rook f1 is a bad move. I told you, queen f1 should be the move.
Okay, what
you need to bring queen away from that bad position. Then even king f2 can be possible. Even to play maybe like this a little bit. Of course, still it's quite dangerous maybe. So maybe bishop f6 is a good move after all, yes? Because this direct f4, as we thought, maybe wasn't there. Maybe she actually played
so deeper than we.
Yes, so deeper. But the queen f1, of course, is a major question if white can play like this. And then.
I don't know, king h1, I don't like at all. Oh,
no, queen h1 obviously she missed that bishop c8. I think she because she played quickly.
Even king f2 would have been.
No, once she played it so quickly, obviously she missed that move, yeah. Because otherwise, of course, king h1 is not the move, yeah.
Well, then maybe tomorrow is another day.
Okay, still wait. Don't run too fast. Wait. Well, I agree that now I completely don't like white's position, but still, let's try to find some resources.
I don't see.
Any resource you don't see?
No, I don't see them.
Okay. Life is hard, of course, but what to do? Yeah, king g1 is no longer possible because already rook takes g3. Yeah? Maybe king g2 to play. I don't know. But then the queen lands here. Yeah. Then e takes f4 and queen lands, and some rook f4, rook g2,
hard
queen
to
b2.
believe.
No, of course it should be over. Yeah. It's even maybe direct mate already. Okay, this is no longer possible. Then what else we can do?
You can try to give away exchange. But
Like to go rook f3?
Yeah, but somehow.
Bishop b7, rook f1? And meaning that rook g3 is not over because the pawn is hanging on f5, yeah? But that looks, of course, not really realistic, but okay. Maybe this is still the only move, yeah?
Hard to believe that the game will.
This and to go this, yeah?
Here, I think even e4 will be winning.
Even e4, yeah? And take.
Take with the bishop.
The bishop and maybe some bishop b1, no? And rook g3 still. Okay, then some takes, queen takes f5 maybe, no?
Maybe.
And still we're fighting.
Let's hope.
No?
Let's hope for it.
No, I didn't impress you. No?
Oh, it was just too drastic for me to change so suddenly. Maybe yes. Maybe my first intention, yes, to put the bishop to queen on f1 was.
No, of course the critical was queen f1. If black can attack there, then maybe Bishop f6 is correct idea and actually a pretty strong one. If white can put pieces together after queen f1, then of course it's maybe not the best setup. I mean, in this moment here. So it was a critical moment here after queen f1. Like if black has enough attacking resources here or not.
Didn't need to put any of her pieces to f1. Ah, the pawn was hanging.
No, the pawn is no. But in general, my idea, okay, that the queen is obviously now under the danger because we don't have this knight on d5. So, so once this knight is gone, it's better to.
Who knows? Maybe it's still good for black. Maybe queen g3
still,
here. No, queen g7. So.
Yes, but I don't see what you want.
Rook takes g3.
But it's completely unclear. So.
Yeah.
Even let's say if I'm going even taking pawns. I mean, you can sacrifice, of course, but it's far from obvious. So. And Rook f1, yeah, in that sense, I don't like it because it keeps the queen on the box. So. Bishop c8. White is facing a tough problem now. Yeah. Well, objectively, we must say that white looks lost. Yeah, we don't see some normal move to defend it. Maybe there is some fantastic resource, but obviously, normally speaking, white should be low here since bishop b7, rook g3 is too strong. So.
Yeah, now Katerina wishes her bishop was on the long diagonal as well.
No, but anyway, of course, she gave all possible fight with white pieces. She went to play position with all pieces on board. Of course, two very strange decisions she has taken, of course, was when she didn't play knight g5 check, of course, quite an unexpected move, but okay, but queen h5 still life goes on.
Checkmate, no? Bishop b7.
Yeah, bishop b7 and rook g3 is the fourth checkmate, yeah?
Well, at least I don't see any idea.
And how to checkmate?
Rook g2.
Rook g2, king e3, queen g3, yeah?
Yeah.
And rook f3, and there is mate like this, yeah? Okay. Forcing checkmate, yeah.
Yeah. So there's gonna be another day.
No.
Oh, well, how...
Okay, but basically now it's a forced mate, I mean, so yeah, it's nothing white can do, so... So first, of course, strangely that she didn't play knight g5 check. And
so
queen f4 was an interesting decision, I would say, but rook g8 is a brilliant reply in terms to prepare queen d7. But unfortunately, we didn't see the logical follow-up. But even the way they played, still it was some pressure from black. And bishop f6, I think, also a good move in terms that she avoided a very tempting f4. Because I think most of the players, even including me, would be tempted to play f4 and then to receive this bishop f5, d4, and sort of this. But then, of course, the critical moment was at the move 27, just to go queen f1, not rook f1. And then, I don't know, at least I don't see the exact way how black would need to proceed. Maybe it exists, of course, maybe it exists, but...
King h1 was the final mistake.
And king h1, of course, she completely missed, or maybe she forgot that bishop c8 is a possible transfer from... Again, transfer, yeah?
Yeah, quite an unfortunate, of course, outcome. Because it seemed like... Yeah, the worst is over already after bishop f6. Yeah.
Bishop b7 played.
It's a forced checkmate. Yeah, queen f1 was much better.
Yes. So still my instincts were maybe correct, yeah, so rook f1 unsafe, yeah?
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate because Katya, she spent many... Yes, okay, check and mate, and I mean, everybody. Okay, well, tiebreak tomorrow, and actually, what's interesting, there are only 2 games in tiebreak. I was sure there were 5 games, but we read the regulations in the break.
And what do you mean, like 2 games?
Well, not 4 games.
Ah, you mean the first? So it will be followed.
25.
So it will be followed
the
with a
same-
normal system, 2 by 2 by 2, like this, and no 4 games. Okay, but
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I in 2001 when I reached the tiebreak. Yeah. When I played the tiebreak in the final, it was 4 games, and it's like.
but according to regulations, 2 games. So it's tomorrow or day off?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, very unfortunate events for the Russian player today, and okay, the Chinese player played quite well today, even though she missed a very strong move c4 at the certain moment, but overall she got the position she needed for the decisive game, and so it means that tomorrow we will see the tiebreaks between these 2 players to decide who will take the title. In the first game, it seems that Ju Wenjun will have white pieces, and it's 2 games, 25 minutes plus 10 seconds, followed by 2 games 10 minutes plus 10 seconds, followed by 2 games 5 minutes plus 3 seconds, and in case it's every time 1-1, then we will see the decisive game with the sudden death time control. But hopefully the match will be decided earlier, because of course it's a really nervous game.
Yeah,
So
that's very, of course, unfortunate. I mean, to lose in such style, but you know.
and we have the today's quiz winner or not? So let's don't forget. Let's announce the winner of today's quiz. Yes, and
Well, at least all the rounds will have their tie breaks. I mean, we didn't have a single round with no tie breaks.
yes, but okay. Normally the final round is like already match. Yeah, so it's like a semi-final stage of the tournament, and suddenly in the final you have like a match already. So
Yeah, but I don't think it's logical to have 4 classical games and then just 2 rapid games.
so you would also prefer to play four
yeah.
rounds,
I
yeah?
mean, to make
Well,
a bit less lottery. That's
yes,
what
and
I
in
want to
general,
say.
it's strange to play this 25 and then 2 games 10 by 10. I mean, so it can be easily changed. Let's say 4 games with 25 minutes, and in case of 2-2, you can start directly playing blitz, maybe. Yeah, let's say 5 plus 3, maybe. So, and yeah, so tomorrow, and of course, it's a big question now for Yekaterina if she will be able to regain her self-confidence and to play and to fight.
And
so
to forget about this
and
game.
yes, and to forget about such a game, because obviously not really fortunate game to her. She had the white pieces and only draw was required. So okay, but anyway, partially to the opening, she played to the partially to the strange combination e takes g5, g takes 5, and not giving check on g5, which would be absolutely logical follow-up. Otherwise, I see no sense in exchanging on f5, and then b5 is another questionable, at least, decision. Okay, for Alexandra, she said that she completely disliked this. For me, it was less obvious, but still, I mean, I'm kind of also not so sure. But anyway, I don't like a combination of e takes g5 and not giving a check. I think, to my chess understanding, it's more committal for white. And then, yes, and then black miss a great chance on move. Yes, and then of course this bishop f6 was very fortunate idea, and Yekaterina made a big mistake. Rook f1, queen f1 should be played with some chances.
It looks like it's already there are some very good chances actually for white after queen f1.
Yeah, so it was still a big question of what would be actually.
I mean, I checked just briefly just now the evaluation of computers. +1 it's showing for white.
+1, yeah, and that's what I actually showed you, that I like white.
I mean,
it
if
was my
black
first
is not
impression,
checkmating immediately,
yeah, then black collapsed, I mean, so
because
yeah.
the knight on a5 is out of play.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
exactly,
the pawns
exactly.
there are hanging, and
No, that's what I told immediately, that I mean, take f4 and the center is collapsing. If it's not a mate, then it should be fine for white. I mean, so
yeah.
just
because bishop c3 probably is coming, and the pawn on e5 will be lost. Oh, at some, or
Yeah,
F takes E5.
but I think it's lost anyways, this pawn already. With the knight on the knight on f5 and the absence of the black square bishop, this knight is lost anyway. So I think she played bishop f6, and now I understand she wanted to avoid the opposite colored bishops.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Because otherwise, if she takes on d5, white takes on a5, then most likely she will again.
But again,
get this,
what I was saying, you see,
bishops
the evaluation of the position doesn't really matter. I mean, she could have ended this game earlier by playing c4, right, when she was winning. But now it seems like white is out of danger.
By the way, we have now a short interview with Zhu Wenjun, so let's quickly take a look and then we come back here.
And so we are here in the playing hall with Zhu Wenjun, who managed to win her game, her first game in the final match against Katerina Lagno, to equalize the score. So, Wenjun, please tell us what happened in this game today.
Today, because I have to play for a win, and I try to, just try to my best. And my opponent, maybe she's blundering some moves, and okay, it was lucky that I won the game, so I can still have the tie breaks now.
Were you happy with the opening of this game?
It's okay. I mean, the opening is actually I didn't expect too much about the opening. Okay, just the play game. Yeah.
And how do you estimate your chances tomorrow in Rapid and other games?
Well, it's I don't know. I mean, clearly, she's good at Rapid, and for me, I'll try. I mean, I'm not bad at Rapid also. Yeah.
And Blitz?
Oh, I really don't know. I mean, okay, who can tell about tomorrow? No one can predict that.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
So we're back, and I guess now we finally ready to announce the today's results of the quiz. Of course, that's also important. This competition is almost also over, so I will just remind you that this long question. Akiba Rubinstein deserved to play the World Championship match, but life had other ideas. David Bronstein could win the title, but lost the ultimate game in the match. Leo Einstein won the 3 USSR championships, but he would never play in the candidate matches due to qualification rules. Some researchers refer to all above mentioned facts to prove that Mikhail Botvinnik actually approved of a certain decision. What decision was it? And the answer is Kasparov's decision to change his surname. And who is today's winner? And today's winner is Stanislav Cherednichenko. So congratulations, Stanislav. It's really a beautiful question. And I don't know if we can see the overall result for overall pool or not yet, but anyway, soon I guess. Yes, soon we will know it, and probably tomorrow, maybe during the tiebreak, we will give you the overall results, and we will know who will take this chessboard with the signature of all players. So the match is finally even 2-2, and just exactly like in London, it's most of the spectators are expecting a tiebreak there. So and we will see a tiebreak tomorrow here at I guess at the same time. Yes.
Yeah, 3 p.m.
Yes, at the same time at 3 p.m. So we'll be. No, it's saying that it's a 1. It's
1
actually
PM.
at
Sorry,
1
then
p.m.
I'm mistaken. Yes, and it's 1 p.m. Okay.
Yes, so sorry, we were slightly unaware that because of the closing ceremony, which will also take place tomorrow, organizers decided to switch time earlier, so just to be in time to prepare everything. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. actually the match is starting, and immediately, quite shortly after, it will be followed by the closing ceremony. Maybe it will be also some nice report about it. So please don't forget, at 1 o'clock tomorrow we will be here with you, and stay with us and enjoy the final tiebreak for the Women's World Chess Championship here in Khanty-Mansiysk.
See you tomorrow.